Good morning. How's it going, guys? How's it going? This is Maniac1 with Maniac Sports. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody's doing well today. Just wanted to come on. Yes, I did go to the Whitecaps game, but um, sadly I didn't get much video. It's just the seats that we were at on Sunday really didn't provide for a lot of good photos and stuff like that. And it was kind of a rough day and stuff like that. So I really didn't stream. I didn't get the type of photos that I wanted to get. Uh, just it just really was kind of a bad day. Uh, but I did have fun overall. But it was just hard to really do anything. Um, Joby. Man, I can't wait until next week when training camp is in full full view. When everybody's here and when we can really see and get a lot more news. Let's remove that. There's some Facebook things, and I gotta apologize to the Facebook people where I know you guys cannot hear everything and cannot do everything, but I mean, I'm trying to work on it where I can get you. I don't know exactly what's going on with Facebook where I can't see your comments right now. Um, so sorry about that. That's kind of stuff that's beyond my control right now. Uh, but yeah, so CJ Lamb from the Dallas Cowboys is refusing to play without a raise, without a new contract. Um, how do you guys feel about that? You Cowboy fans. Not that I mean, I'm really not a Cowboy fan, but I know there are Cowboy fans out there. Uh, we all know that. We all know that 313 Newbreed is definitely not a Cowboy fan. He feels, I mean, I'm there's no love lost between me and the Packers, of course. I'm definitely not a Packer fan. I'm not a Cowboy fan. I'm a Detroit Lions fan, of course. Michigan Panther fan, um, and a Michigan Wolverine fan. We'll get to see how they do without Jim Harbaugh. Um, good good programs, great programs. Fine ways of find ways of um, getting things together. Uh, I know there's been some shady dealings in the past there, questionable practices, and I really can't condone a lot of those practices. Uh, I don't know how much of that really affected um, the outcome of the game, the outcome of the season. Uh, and I don't know how. I'm not privileged in knowing exactly how much worse Michigan Wolverines did than other teams did too. So um, but you know, now Jim Harbaugh is now gone again for greener pastures. Uh, get to see what he does with the Chargers. Um, hey, who knows? Who knows what will go on there? But we'll get to see what goes on there. Got my camera set. But a second here. All right. But this is Maniac Tim with Maniac Sports. I didn't name this Maniac1 show. But man, I still need to get these things going where we get. I need to create that knock 'em on your ass shirt. Because that's one thing that I need to really get going. Let's see. So, how uh, how confident are you guys with the lines right now? Um, okay, so I'm going to go ahead and okay. As far as I'm going to read this article. In what yet another sign that the 2024 season is almost here. Detroit Lions will begin training camp this week, while rookies reported on Sunday, July 20th. The rest of the team is set to report on July 23rd, which is of course yesterday, um, because it's 24th now. Once everybody is in the building, first practice training camp is slated to be the next day on Wednesday, July 24th, which will be, of course, today. And it won't be long after that when the pads come on and the true evaluation begins. So, hey, 313, how's it going? How's it going, man? Uh, I'm doing pretty good here. I wanted to hop on for a few, find out uh, what's going on. So, did you attend training camp today? Or well, actually, because I know well, actually, it would be yesterday. No. Oh, you're going on Sunday. Okay. All right. Cool. Cool. Awesome. I'm switching things around on computers here. I got two screens. Oh, Saturday, not Sunday. Yeah. I had it kind of. Yeah, I got a. Saturday, I got actually a bachelor celebration with one of my friends. So that's what I'm going to be doing Saturday. Uh, so that's been pre-planned. For the season ticket holders is Saturday. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's awesome. Hey, you guys deserve because hey, what you guys pay for season tickets, you guys deserve some preferential treatment for sure. You guys deserve some perks. I I seen that picture where you met Herman Moore, which is good. I'm glad to see you met up with him. That's great. But yeah, I'm going to Lions practice in the morning on Saturday, and later on going to the. Oh wow, wow! So you're gonna be going to a fight? Awesome, man! Awesome, man. That's a packed day for you for sure. That's great. I'm glad. I'm glad you're going. Have fun, enjoy for sure. For sure, you gotta enjoy all the moments that you can. Cool. Cool. Yeah. So you met him last Saturday, huh? Yeah, I seen that. I seen that picture, and I thought he's a real cool dude too. You know, that's one thing about Herman Moore. Awesome. Yeah. The first time I met, I don't blame him, but you know that makes the Cowboys weaker with him holding out. I'm I'm glad. So did Jordan Love hold out? I heard that he would. I mean, I if hey, the longer he holds out, the better. you know, I mean that's shoot. You know, and hopefully they don't. Hopefully they don't patch things up. That's what I'm hoping. Hey, hey, how's it going, Smoking Jeremy? How's it going, man? Yeah, I know he's looking for a new contract. I did read that. And, I mean, you can't blame him. Yeah, yeah, it is a great day. It is a great day to be a Lions fan for sure, man. That is so awesome. Man, I cannot wait until the season starts. You know, I can't wait. I mean, I am so looking forward to the season, man. I am. It just, it just will be it will be a great time. Great time to see the Lions go ahead and take it to another level. You know what? Uh, it depends on why he took it. If he took it to go ahead and get other players on the team, you know, I can. I can see that because hey, let's just face it. The reason the Patriots were so good, all right, was because of the Brady discount. I mean, how many times does a franchise extra for workouts? So they kind of made up for it. All right. Okay. All right. Wow. So he was holding out and then gave. But yeah, I mean we all know what Stafford brings to that team. He helped bring them that Super Bowl win. You know, I mean now we just need golf to bring us ours, right? I mean I know none of us guys are gonna argue with that. Yeah, yeah, they could end up uh, making you know giving him a heavier salary, make less this year, but then you know loading it more at the end. How many years? Oh, OMG, yes, yes, we got to keep that going. Yeah, that's for sure. We just got to go ahead and roar! Yeah, get Stafford. Yeah, yes, I did. I sure did. I can't remember exactly who got it for me, but it was a present a long time ago. But I put it down where nobody can see it, you know. But actually, what I want to do is I need to get more helmets, uh, um, because what I want to do is every I want to get one of every team. All right, even the Packers, but I want to get one of every team, and then the the week that the Lions play the team, just go ahead and have that helmet be featured behind me. I hop on when I get the room. Timmy, have a smoke outside. Oh, when you get in the room. Okay, okay, that's good. That's good. Yeah, roar, roar, roar. Hey, at least I'm doing my roars a little bit better than I was before. When a couple weeks ago or uh, a week ago, I just couldn't. It was like, oh my gosh, my roars were lacking, lacking. Oh, cool, cool, awesome, man. Oh gosh. So tell me, you know how we have I don't really play video games. Yeah, I really should. I have a PS4 that I hooked up one time at a friend's house, and that was it. I mean, I and it's, but I'm really not a gamer. I definitely he played 17 games for the Bills last season. Wow, awesome, 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 awesome sauce, man. Okay, okay, that was kind of I didn't need to say sauce. Yeah, that is good. So tell me, we have this. What would you do for a Klondike bar? They're saying, okay, But what would you do if the Lions make it to the Super Bowl this year and win? We want to play. We want to go ahead and make this. What would you do? I mean, that we're going to steal a little bit from the Klondike bar, but what would you do if the Lions make it to the Super Bowl and win? I mean, I'll tell you what. I got to think of something real good for that. You know, uh, shaving my head. I, I mean, my hair's uh, already low enough. Uh, if they win the Super Bowl, I'm getting free furniture from Grinder White LOL. Oh wow. Wow, 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 wow. Oh man. Gardner White, excuse me. Gardner White, not Grinder White. Yeah, me and my reading sometimes. Oh, OMG, OMG. Oh man. I'm not supposed to be yawning, but I am. All right, here we go. Here we go. Hey, how's it? Let me get my take this hat off. Get this back on.
What's up, brother?
Hey, not a whole lot. Well, actually, Lions training camp, Lions news.
We signed Ike Betger yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
He's a guard, and he played
Mm-hmm.
17 games for the Bills after their starting guard went down early in the season. What I like is he was ranked in the top 30 of guards, which means he actually ranked with starters.
Okay, cool.
So here's my thing. We all know Coyote Awasika, when he first got on the field, struggled a little bit, but looked better as the season went on. Sorsdal struggled, but he looks like the most improved of those backup offensive linemen, according to Dan Campbell at OTAs.
Right.
Manu just hit the NIL,
Right.
the non-football injury thing, the NFI, I mean. So
Mm-hmm.
they make Sorsdal a tackle like he was in college. He could be the other backup tackle other than Skipper. Get this guy to back up Glasgow, and we got Mahogany to back up Zietler.
Wow, I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
And I don't think Mutai makes the team.
Right. Okay.
He'll be practice squad.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, we poached him off of another practice squad. We didn't sign him from free agency. We poached him off of a practice squad.
Right.
So, and while people are saying, wow, I'm high on Nitain Mutai, I looked this guy up, and he actually has really decent, not great, just decent passing and run PFF grade. So he is decent at both. That's a
Mm-hmm.
good guy to have backing up.
Yeah, it is.
And he was signed the day before camp.
Cool. Cool. So yeah, I from what you're telling me, I love the signing. you know, I definitely love the signing. So how you been, man?
Good, just working and doing the podcasting thing. But I'll tell you what would I do if the Lions make it to the Super Bowl or win the Super Bowl? Which is it?
Win the Super Bowl.
They win the Super Bowl, I will run off a Media Row in New Orleans streaking. You heard that right. I'm going to be at the Super Bowl.
Wow. Awesome, man. You're going to be at the Super Bowl.
And
Cool.
I'm working on getting in either to do some more coverage for college football,
Hmm.
either at community college here, the Bears, who have been a two-time national champion in the JUCO colleges as a
Hmm.
community college, or SBSU Division II up there in Saginaw. So I'll be covering one or the other or both.
Man, hey, you're prospering. That is great. That is so awesome. I'm so proud of you, man.
It's harder to get Lions press passes than it is to get NFL press passes for a major event.
That is so hard to believe, but
Well, the proof is I was at the draft. I'm not approved to be at Lions home games.
mm-hmm, right. Oh yeah, but it just shows how much of a following our team has. I mean, and for so many years we have been neglected by the NFL. Way too many years. You know, but hey, look at I mean,
Let's go. I gained 4 subscribers tonight. I went into a channel where they were talking about baseball, and I started dropping my little Jeremyisms in there, my little nickname teams and everything. And
oh,
they
but
and 4 of their guys went over and subbed to my channel.
whoa, awesome, and hey, that's one way to get get subscribers.
They
How?
were One of the Bears fans actually called Caleb Williams because he doesn't like him. Caleb Williams. I said, "Oh, you mean LGBTQB1?"
Oh man.
And he subbed to me because of that.
I heard somebody was saying some of the stuff that he wanted in his contract was like extra. Yeah, I don't know how much he got and how much of this is true, but he wanted the guy who does his nails or the person who does his nails to have a spot on the field. The person who they wanted his mother, he wanted his mother on there too.
What's
Hey,
up?
how's it going? 3-on-3.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Fantastic. Good to see you here, brother. This is a big collab. Now we got us all rolling in here late night.
Yep. Wow.
Yeah,
Like that.
good to be here.
You heard what I said about him, right, Steve?
No, I didn't hear it. I just came back on.
Started 17 games because remember they went 2 games into the playoffs. The Bills did.
Mm-hmm.
So that means the second week when they lost their starting guard, this guy got the job and didn't lose it. That's huge for any backup coming off the bench cold 2 games into the season to hold something. He had decent, not great pass and run blocking grades, enough that he ranked in the top 30 of guards overall.
Oh
So
wow.
that means he wasn't a bottom feeder. He wasn't bad, but he wasn't great. But that means on this roster, he's better than Nawasika and Sorsdal at guard. We don't know how good Christian Mahogany can be, except that Tim 20 Man said with him wearing 73 out there, if it wasn't for him being at right guard, I'd swear it was Jonah Jackson out there. How big of a compliment is that to a rookie being on the field?
That's good. That's real
It
good.
is.
Mahogany's our right guard backup. We know that
Mhm.
because that's the only position he can play. Because number one, his body's built for it. Number two,
Right.
that's all he played.
Yeah.
We know Coyote
Yeah.
Awasika did okay later in the season, but when he first got on the field, when Jonah was dealing with his injuries, he wasn't doing too great. So when all's said and done, that means Sorsdal might be able to go back to his natural position now that Manu's on the non-football injury list. He could be the backup tackle. Skipper on the other side for backup tackle. This Ike
Mhm.
Becker backing up Glasgow and Christian Mahogany backing up Zietler. And that leaves the spot for that 10th. Because remember, they talked about making it so you got 10 O linemen now. That means Kingsley Edgecombe would probably be the backup center. The UDFA we picked up and gave all the guaranteed money in a 2-year contract to.
That's a good thing. That's good.
Yeah,
So
because Kingley, prior to last season, was considered the best center in NCAA till he got hurt coming
It's
out of
true.
Florida. So we got some good depth. And what's good about keeping Manu on that non-football injury list is if he stays on it all year, that pushes his contract back a year. We still have 4 years of control. It makes next year his rookie season.
Oh
So
wow.
in essential, it's a 5-year contract then, like a first rounder, which is what we should have did with Hooker.
Yeah.
He couldn't play a snap.
That's kind of like as a college. That's kind of like college being a 5th-year senior.
Right. Because you were redshirt. It's a red shirt year.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's what
good.
they should do with Manu, because they say he's raw, he's unpolished, he still doesn't know how to use his hands right, and he's still a bit too upright in his blocking. Not that he can't do it upright, but when he's upright like that, he tends to lock in with his hands. He does it the right way inside the pads, because even that's holding in the Canadian Football League when you go outside the pad. But when he falls down, he doesn't get up off of people because of his big frame right away. And in the NFL, if you don't get off of somebody right away or roll right off of them, it's a holding penalty.
Mm-hmm.
We don't
That's
need
right.
that. We don't
Yeah,
need
we have too many of those already.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For the natural holding stuff. We don't need the extra ones that are inadvertent holding calls.
Right, exactly.
So I like that idea. That means Hank Braley can still do stuff on non-football days, when it's not and still work with him and everything else once he's healthy. He just can't work out with the team.
Right.
So you got to pay attention to all those loopholes and stuff like that, because those are big. But I was just telling him, I found out through a buddy of mine that's an agent, he can get me Super Bowl credentials from Media Row. So he asked me, what would you do? What would you do if the Lions win the Super Bowl? I said, I'm leaving Media Row and going streaking to New Orleans. It's straight to
Hey,
the
you know what's funny? You know what's funny? And I was saying this in the chat, and I found this out when I went to Gardner White to meet Herman Moore. They actually doing a promotion that's if the Lions win the Super Bowl, they're actually giving people free furniture.
Right.
That's crazy, but I hope they win the Super Bowl.
It's a big tax write-off. Basically, you can pick. If I understood the rules right, you can pick any room and get a room full of furniture if they win. Correct?
Yes.
Whether it's a bedroom, a living room, a dining room, whatever.
Okay, I gotta go there and sign up.
It was a one-day thing, wasn't it? It was a special thing they did. They had Herman Moore, and I believe Hendon Hooker was there because he's sponsored by Gardner White.
Oh, I did. I knew about Herman Moore. I didn't know about Hendon Hooker.
Different times of the day, Hendon Hooker was there too.
Oh wow, I didn't know that. Oh wow,
I made the whole thing on IG, Instagram. I paid all that stuff, but I had to work, so I couldn't make it down there for either time. I started at Herman Moore was like the 4 to 7 guy, right? It was afternoon.
I think Herman Moore was like noon to 2:30.
Okay, so Hendon Hooker was the 4 to 7 guy.
Oh wow!
One was during the day, and then one was in the early evening.
Oh wow! I wish I would have known that.
Oh wow! That's
damn. And Herman actually stayed a little bit longer past 2:30. So
now
that was pretty cool.
Me and Tim know exactly how great Herman Moore is because we went up and sat with him at Aspire at Soaring Eagle to watch that Dallas Cowboy debacle.
Yeah.
In 2022.
Yep. And I asked him, I asked him what brings out the maniac in him. Do you remember what he said?
No, because you're gonna have to refresh my memory. It's been a minute.
Okay. He said bad calls. Bad calls.
Herman Moore was with Brett Perriman, Johnny Morton. That year, our receiver core was so lit. The only thing there was 3 1,000-yard receivers. Too bad they had Scotty Mitchell as a quarterback.
I know.
Do you imagine if Rodney Peete was still here at that time? Because at that time, Rodney Peete was starting to play good for Philly. If we had Rodney Peete with them 3 on the field, ooh, that'd have been nasty.
But what was so weird about Rodney Peete was that it was Philadelphia that hurt him in the first place.
Right.
In a preseason game, he hurt his knee in a preseason game against Philadelphia.
And then Garrett Temple goes and wins us 10 games.
Mm-hmm.
And we get to the playoffs and they say, oh, Rodney's healthy. Put him back in. That worked out great, didn't it?
Yeah, it worked out outstanding.
Oh, God.
One of the best decisions the Lions ever made.
Almost as good as the decision that the GM made in 1998. At 27, we take punt returner and somewhat okay zone coverage guy Terry Fair over Randy.
Man. Hey, Tim, weren't we just talking about Terry Fair a few days ago?
Yeah. We were saying unbelievable. Yeah, we were. Yeah, I think it was Saturday morning or something like that.
We was just talking about him, and I was thinking, man, we could have got Randy Moss.
Yep.
We could have got Randy Moss.
And a lot of other teams.
12 years later, at pick 10, Eric Ebron.
You mean E-Bust?
E-Bum.
I
Okay,
remember.
You know what? I actually got an Eric Ebron story, and it's crazy. So I was working at the time, and I'm riding down the freeway, and I actually see that Eric Ebron, he actually got he got his vehicle towed. I think it was something wrong with it. So it was actually on a little tow truck, and I guess he had to take it to get it fixed or something. Mm-hmm. And then I looked, I didn't realize, but the only reason I knew it was him because it had North Carolina license plate on it. So when I seen that, I said, yep, that's Eric Ebron.
You know my buddy Detroit Dom that does the show with me every now and then. He comes on my show, talks football with us. Eric Ebron, when he had his baby with his wife, he showed a picture on Twitter, him holding his baby up like that. He goes, I just hope you hold that baby better than you do a football. Next day, Eric Ebron deleted his Twitter. He made him leave Twitter.
Oh
man. Oh, jeez.
Boy, if that ain't a pick six, I don't know what is.
Everybody was like, oh, man, look at that. Ebron goes to Andrew Luck, and he gets 13 touchdowns. I said, you do realize he was targeted in the red zone 39 times. He got his catch rate at 33%.
And went to the Pro Bowl, too.
Because he had 13 touchdowns, not because he dropped 26 of them.
Right. Man, it's crazy.
Didn't he go to the Steelers and die after that?
I think
wasn't it a one-and-done deal? And then he went to the Steelers and got buried behind Jesse James, who we were stupid enough to sign.
Oh, God.
Yeah, ain't that something?
Oh, man.
And give a lot of money and then draft T.J. Hawkinson in that draft.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I
think remember why we drafted T.J. Hawkinson. And at the time, I liked the pick. Because they called him an extra blocker in the run game.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know he never ranked higher than 115th out of 120 offensive tackles and tight ends in run blocking?
Wow.
In his tenure in Detroit.
Wow.
Never ranked higher than 115th. And then he goes to Minnesota and he was ranked 72nd in run block. I was like, you son of a bitch, you never wanted to be here.
No. I remember that first injury he got. He tried to do that backflip over the guy.
No, he tried to do a forward flip and he got hit
For
and it turned into a helicopter.
yeah.
Hurt his leg and he
Mhm.
was out for the season.
Mm. And it seemed like every year there was something.
It was little stuff though after that. 3
Right.
games here, 2 games there, a half here. But at that point, I thought of him like, well, DeAndre Swift in a tight end's body.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah,
And
yeah.
how crazy is that the Bears signed DeAndre Swift for $2 million more than we signed David Montgomery.
Ain't that something?
Yeah, I've been trolling them. I was like, hey, I got an interesting factoid for you. There's one stadium DeAndre Swift has never cut a clutch touchdown in. Do you know what it is? Soldier Field.
Yep.
Mm.
Both times, game-winning touchdowns he dropped
Hmm.
in Soldier Field. Out of the 3 years he was here, he dropped 2 there. The only one he got that he made in the red zone, he caught 10 yards out and ran it in. Remember that?
Yep.
Right. Yep.
If it
Yep.
wasn't for the fact he broke the plane, it'd have been a fumble and they'd have got the ball back.
That's right. That's right.
You pay attention to little things,
And
Yeah.
that's why he's no longer lying. you know.
No longer lying because Jahmyr Gibbs accidentally is twice the running back he is.
Yep. He
Yeah.
is.
A lot
He does.
faster. Everything.
No, I think they're really close in speed because DeAndre Swift was fast. You get him out in the open field, if he ain't touched, he's like lightning in a bottle. He's gone.
Hmm.
No ifs, ands, or buts about it. But he goes down at first contact because he's afraid of being hurt. He does not break tackles. I think he had one game where he broke 5 tackles. I said, mark it down.
Yeah.
He was only good
Yeah.
for breaking maybe 1 or 2 tackles a game. That's all it was. And they weren't your normal tackles. They were the grazers where somebody ran
Yeah.
by and put their hand out because they were too far away.
Yeah. Like his
Rest
last
his shoulders off.
his last season with the Lions, it was like he bulked up real big and all this other stuff, and he still got hurt like real easy. you
Yeah,
know.
that's where I have an issue. I think we were playing Dallas, and it was that game. And
Hmm.
he's running, and he's wide open and got a lane to get the first down on 3rd down from 3rd and 8, and we let him run the ball. Like he sees the
Mhm.
safety coming over, and he just fell down.
Yep.
He didn't even get hit.
Yeah.
He just fell down a yard short. If he'd have just
And
rolled,
that Bears O line is not really that good, so they might get him hurt. They might get Caleb Williams hurt too.
it looks better on paper. But I will
Mhm.
say, if Caleb Williams is 50% as good as his height, and that O line is 10% better than what it was last year, just 10%, with the weapons they have there, if he doesn't break Eric Kramer's passing yardage record for the Chicago Bears, he's a bum.
Hey, you said it, not me. But you're right. But you're right.
But
He's
you know what we want to do? We want to see. Yeah, we want to see Canada Williams knocked on his ass.
I know he did.
Yes.
I
Yes.
know. I know.
All game.
Everybody's piling on the Reader hate because he's going to be out the week 1 or 2. I was like, that's not that big a deal, guys. The
Right.
big deal is if you talk to Minnesota, they said their medical staff cleared Marcus Davenport to play in week 9 of last season. And he sat out the rest of the year because he said he didn't feel right. Now he comes here, and if he was healed in week 9, he had 6 months before he ever touched the field in OTAs, and now he's hurt again. That's an issue. This is going to be a black mark in the free agent acquisitions
Oh yeah.
for Brad Holmes. And I said, because of his injury concerns, I almost would start Pascal or Bet over him and make him a rotational guy with James Houston.
Oh yeah, I could see that.
Sound about right.
That's the only way you're going to keep him healthy for a season.
Mhm.
He hasn't played more than 6 games in a season in 4 years.
Oh wow. Wow.
But at the same time, in those 16 games he played in 4 years, he had 22 and a half sacks.
Can't go wrong with that.
So
Make
divide
sure.
that by 4. Divide that by 4. That's 5.25 sacks a season.
Now we can keep him healthy.
Yeah,
You know.
that's the big thing. Got to keep them healthy. That's
Yeah.
the
Right.
big thing.
But I think that's the best way to hide him, is not
Yeah.
make him starter. I think
Mhm.
we brought him for more vet leadership anyways because of the injury concerns. And Brad Holmes loves doing that for the vet guys.
Yeah.
You know, for his leaders, he's always brought somebody in that hasn't always played every down.
Right.
Whether it's Michael Brockers, whether it was, well, what's his name? Charles Harris. He ended up being a defensive captain. He doesn't play every down.
True.
This year,
True.
you watch it, John Comiskey. I
Mhm.
just throwing it out there. He'll be
Mhm.
voted as a team leader. And I don't
Mm.
even know if it makes the team with the talent we got on it. If you think
That's
about it.
possible.
Mhm.
Because
Right.
if Levi's showing out the way he is, and he does the same thing Comiskey does, plays inside and out,
Mhm.
if he goes out all preseason and looks better than Comiskey makes sense to get rid of, and I almost would trade him. And I know who I'd trade him for. You package him with a 3rd through 5th round pick. Just pick your round. I don't care. And there's a guy on the trade block I'd trade for right now. Matthew Judon.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Absolutely.
Mhm.
I would do that in a heartbeat.
Right. But if they want a 2nd or 1st rounder and a player, hell no, I'm out.
Right.
Right. Right. It ain't worth it.
But a
Nope.
3rd, a 4th, or 5th, I'm good. I'm good.
Mhm.
Any one of them. Even if you had to do a 4th and a 5th together so you don't give up a 3rd, I'm good with that.
Me too.
Absolutely. I'm with
I-
it too. You know, whatever makes this team better and somebody that's consistent that'll be out there in that field,
And then
I'm with it.
Davenport, Houston, all of them, depth. That's what
Mhm.
they are. They're depth at that point. You'd have 2 guys that play 90% of the snaps on each side of the defensive line, with Reeder and Aleem up the middle and Big Broderick coming in to relieve whoever's tired. Then Mekhi Wingo splashed in. Then you got Pascal and Davenport and Houston and Betts. And I'm high on Betts because of something that Tim Twentyman and Jeff Risden wrote about OTAs when they saw him. He has a more elite bend than James Houston and better change of direction skills with a great first step.
Mm.
And I don't care. I don't care if your name is Peter Lemongello. If you're getting raves like that from those 2 guys, because they're 2 guys I trust in the Lions beat writing. You can't trust Carlos Monterez because he's going to find something to hate about the Lions every time he writes about.
I know exactly who you talk about.
Yeah, the one Brad Holmes called out his receipts on in that presser. That
Yeah.
was great. He goes, "Yeah, Carlos, I don't see how they get Jameson Williams up at over this. What did J-Mo do in that NFC Championship game? Better than Josh Reynolds.
Yeah, I did.
Mhm.
2 touchdowns,
Yeah.
one
Mhm.
receiving." And
Yeah.
everybody's
And
like, Jordan Love's better than Goff. I said, wait a minute. Your quarterback threw one of the worst throws I ever seen to end a game, to end on a pick and lose. My quarterback scored a touchdown towards the end of the game and at least put us in a position for an onside kick to get a chance to win it.
right.
So I would rather have the quarterback that threw the touchdown than the one that threw the pick.
I would too.
Yep.
Would
And if
too.
you Jordan Love was not a consistent quarterback last year. That first game, if it wasn't for Aaron Jones versus the Bears, they wouldn't have won.
That's
He
right.
had a 55.6 completion percentage, 285 yards, 2 touchdowns, 3 picks. Aaron Jones and his 170 yards on the ground till he got injured is what saved their butt.
Mm-hmm.
Because that dominated the time of possession.
That's
Then Aaron
true.
Jones get hurt, and that's when the Packers started faltering in week 2. Remember, he got hurt in week 2. Next
Yep.
thing you know, they won the first 2. They were 2-0, and everybody was talking about it. Then we face them. We're both. Then all of a
Yep.
sudden it was 2-3, 2-4, 2-5.
Yep.
The Lions were what? 5-1.
Yeah, they was.
Yeah.
They was. It's hard to do that when your featured back is injured and you gotta try to rely on Dylan, and he's not that kind of running back. You know, he's a power running back. He's not elusive like
And
Aaron
Right.
Jones.
I did a deep dive, and ever since Josh Jacobs came back from his injury, he has not been the same back. Every year his yards per carry is going down.
Mm-hmm.
He needed that big payday from the Packers too. You know about his out off the field life, right? He has
I
5
know
kids
all
out
about
there,
Johnson. I know all about
a lot of child support.
If
Well,
anybody knows about Josh Jacobs, it's me. I know about him. I've even met him in person. Very nice guy. Very,
Oh, bro.
very.
So you were at the draft this year too, weren't you?
Yes,
You
sir.
were
Yes,
you were
sir.
there out with the fans, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I was up there in that media room. You know what I hated about the media room? I loved it and hated it at the same time. The NFL did a great job. They gave us like 3-star chefs with a gourmet, all you can eat lunch and dinner every day. But it was on the opposite side of that building of one Cassius Martius, and we couldn't see the stage from the room.
oh
Mm,
boy.
mm. Oh
So,
man.
but the one entrance that was right there next to the stage, next to the building, that was our smoking area. So I would walk out, and what was funny, it was the 4th round. I was like, we don't have a pick. I'm going to walk outside. And, my co-host has got the stream going and the live reaction show going because I've done that every year. I
Mhm.
wasn't going to stop just because I was at the draft.
Right.
I go down there and I light up and I look up and it says the Lions are on the clock.
Yes. I was the same way because I think they took Green Bay pick and they swapped it with Green Bay, and then next thing you know,
Green Bay traded
Lions,
it with somebody else, and then we traded with that team. That's what it was. Green Bay traded out, and then that team traded out. So it
okay.
was like it said Green Bay, and then it said I don't remember if it was the Saints or the Cardinals. And the next thing you know, that screen changed and it went that blue, and I was like, I know that blue.
Because next thing you know, you saw Green Bay, and then it was like, then you hear this big old roar in the crowd, and I'm thinking like, what's going on? And then next thing you know, you see the Lions is on the clock, so it's like, it was crazy. That the fans went crazy when that happened. It was insane.
And then when we traded up for Sion Vaki and Governor Whitmer came out to announce the pick,
Yep.
it was like Roger Goodell walked out there. There was so many boos. I will admit, Channel 5 has got their own Facebook page. And during the whole political thing when she was rerunning for governor, they did a thing and it said Caitlyn Jenner is running for governor of California. I got booted off the WNEM TV5 page. I said, Caitlyn Jenner can't run for governor of California. She's already the governor of Put their pictures
Right
side by side. Put their pictures side by side. You'll see it.
Yeah. I mean, I can see even with.
Oh man,
Oh
that's
boy,
right. But it's right.
it's so wrong, but it's right.
Right.
I may not be right, and I ain't wrong.
Oh man.
I have fun. I've been a troll like that when it comes to people looking like somebody. There was a kid on a podcast tonight, and he was talking, and his nickname was Spongy, and they kept telling him, "Hey, it's past 11 o'clock. Shouldn't you be in bed?" I literally looked. I said, "God!" And listen to his voice. It sounds like he's talking through a pillow, or he's the Peanuts teacher from the old cartoon. Wah, 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 wah. And he goes, "Man, that's mean." I said, "That's okay. Now that you spoke up, you sound like the teenage version of Jimmy Neutron." Because
Oh,
I don't do hard trolls, but when I go, I go. And I don't say anything rude, sarcastic, or out of pocket type stuff. I'm not trying to super offend somebody. I'm going for the laugh
Right.
back.
yep.
I do
I
the
ain't gonna
same
lie,
thing
I do that too. I do it too.
at the tire shop. You're going to laugh at this one. Had a pair of girls pull up in their car. They needed their two front tires. Okay, I look over and they're kissing, and I don't mean like friends kiss.
Right.
No big deal,
Yeah.
you know, jacking up the car, and I hear the electric window go down, and she goes, "Excuse me." Signs everywhere says stay in the car. Are we safe to sit in the car while it's on the jack? I have no filter. I said, as long as you two girls don't act like you're out on a prom date, get in the prom date, hop in the back seat and use the power tools, y'all good. They
Oh
laughed
my.
as hard as you two did. And here it is. They're buying used tires, $40 a piece, 16-inch tires, no big deal.
Right.
Decent price. I get them done. They handed me $200 and said, "Bring me back a 20."
Wow.
The difference
Good
is,
luck.
the difference is knowing how to deliver the joke and not be offensive while doing it.
Right.
That makes
You know,
sense.
wording and delivery is everything, and saying it with a smile on your face makes a big difference. Then they know it's
Mhm.
Mhm.
you say it straight face, they might take offense.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Especially how this society is. Oh yeah. There's a lot of
Mhm.
sensitive people out here.
Right.
It's like you gotta be careful.
And the three of us know this, but I don't know if there's any listeners or viewers out there right now. But if there is, the only thing you can control of things out of your control is how you react.
Exactly.
It's true.
If it doesn't affect you, it doesn't affect your money, and it doesn't affect your family, it's all small shit. Don't sweat
Mhm.
the small shit.
But
Yep. No matter how small it is, you can't sweat it at all or let it
yeah.
get to you.
But these damn gas prices. Oh my God! Nowadays.
I'm getting to everybody. I drove around the corner. I said, "Thank God I got half a tank. I don't have to get nothing at $3.99."
I know.
Man, gas is more than getting a hooker on the streets.
I
Literally.
Well, unless we're talking about TJ's salary, then that might be a little bit different.
Yeah. And we not talking about Hendon Hooker.
no, we're talking about the ones that wear his jersey on 6 Mile. They're proud to have that name across their back.
And you know what's funny? You know what's funny? If I remember, if you played Baton last year, they actually refused to put Hooker on the jersey. So they literally had to like block it out.
Yeah. It
I was
literally
like,
it literally said H__KER.
yep,
They left
yep,
out the O.
yep. Mm-hmm.
It's a
That's
guy's
crazy.
name.
The announcers did say the name.
No, they didn't. They
They
didn't.
did. They did on the last update I did for Madden 24.
Oh, okay.
There you go. There you go. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
That is
I
funny.
almost wanted to go and edit a wide receiver coming out of college, make him come out of Ball State with the last name Blow. That way I could see Hooker and Blow saves Detroit. Because you know they do those little headline things in the news stuff.
A tag team that won't do you wrong.
You know, there's actually a children's book in libraries right now, and it's called Hookers and Blow Saves Christmas. And it's about a snow thrower truck and a tow truck.
Oh, wow. Wow. Wow.
And then there's another one that's a children's book, and it's called Mandy Needs to Shave Her Beaver.
Oh, man.
And it's an animated one, and it is about a girl with a pet beaver that's super hairy.
The animal beaver.
I'm just gonna leave. I'm just gonna leave it to beaver.
No, that's the worst thing that was said on television in the 50s. Ward, weren't you a little hard on the beaver last night? I know I ain't right, but I ain't wrong.
Yeah. Same thing Eminem said on 8 Mile.
Yup.
Oh my God.
The old jokes are always but they were dirty at the same time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was before their time.
Around that much. You know what I mean? They don't come around like that anymore. Now, if it isn't a dirty joke, they don't get it.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can't say jokes like you used to nowadays because they so offensive.
Yeah, you can't even say the old one about the only meat that trees eat on Friday is none because they usually like choir boys. I know I ain't right.
You ain't right, but you right.
But I ain't wrong. But at the same time, you've read a few of my articles that I posted, Steve.
Mm-hmm.
You have never, ever seen me write an article about any of our players and use this as the main line 10 times. Never had he never. We all know about the double negatives. Unless you're playing around doing a joke,
Mm-hmm.
you don't use double negatives. Not in grammar.
Right.
A professional sport writer for USA Today wrote about Barry Sanders. Never had he never had less than 1,000 yards rushing. Never had he never missed a Pro Bowl.
Wow.
Never had he never not been voted as an All-Pro. And it went all down this list about this stuff that he had never not done.
Mm.
So I wonder where he went to enjoy.
That guy makes 6 figures a year for USA Today. And not just him, the editor that edits that stuff.
Right.
That person should be fired too.
Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
Right.
You know what? Never will it never happen.
Right. Never would it never happen if I was writing it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm working on my 4 draft profiles. I already did them on the air, but I'm working on putting them to print. And that's about all 4 of our day 3 picks. Because everybody's seen the day 1 and day 2 picks. There isn't a lot out there for Sion Vaki as a running back. That was the hardest one. That's the hardest one to finish right now. I'm almost done with Christian Mahogany's. I've already got Manu's done. I just got to proofread it and submit it. And I've already got Mikai Wingo. And everybody that says, oh, man, he can play inside and out and everything must not have read his weaknesses for his scouting reports, because I read through all of them and compiled it. Because there's about 8 weaknesses and there's about 8 strengths. The strengths are good. But at the same time, they put a caveat at the end of a couple of the strengths. This is versus college, not NFL linemen.
Right.
And then when you get to the weaknesses, you realize why he said it. Because they literally said, as a defensive tackle, he has decent lateral agility. As a defensive end, his lateral agility is minimal at best, and he'll be a liability in run protection.
Mm. Mm.
And I was like,
Wow.
okay. The only move he has is a bull rush. He lacks the hand pop to be effective against bigger NFL offensive linemen. That's another huge no-no. You know what I mean? Hand pop is huge for a defensive tackle. If you're not able to pop them pads and stand them up, you can't get under them.
Right.
How good your bend is. Both of you are trying to get low. That's what the hand pop's for.
Mm.
Go on, boss.
My mind just went in the gutter when you said both of you are trying to get low. I'm sorry.
That because some of it's not going to work with guys like Trent Williams and all these other big offensive linemen. That's they seen everything.
Oh yeah.
So you got to surprise them. These all pro offensive linemen. They pretty much seen everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like you got to surprise them. You got to do different moves because if you do the same move, they gonna know that every time.
Yeah.
You got to switch it up.
I only seen one scouting profile that had him ranked as a pro comp to a Hall of Famer. And it's the guy that said that Penei Sewell wouldn't be an all-pro. Former scout of the New York City Jets, responsible for drafting such great guys like Mark Sanchez and a few others those years. Daniel Kelly. I pretty much have said on because he writes for either Bleacher Report or Fansided, one of the lesser ones out there.
Mm-hmm.
I have literally commented on his and said, "Oh, he does a great job as long as you read it and then you say, wow, just the opposite will happen." And he's right 90% of the time.
Mm-hmm.
He actually wrote that Malik Willis could be great in the NFL.
And he can't even find the field now.
That's because he can throw the ball a country mile. He just can't hit anything within a target area in a country mile. Hey, you can have the strongest arm in the world. If you don't have this and the accuracy to make it work with it, the mechanics, the footwork, the head, the
vision, and
IQ and the vision.
Mm-hmm.
It was killing me during that combine every time he overthrew somebody. Wow, his arm's so strong, he just overthrew it.
Can't do that. Can't do it.
At the combine, Jamarcus Russell looked like a god. And he had a big arm like that, but he was accurate.
Right.
Remember? He looked like a god that combine. I mean, 60 yards down the field on the dime.
Mm-hmm.
And there was quite a few wide receivers that didn't catch it. And you were like, yeah, they're not going to make it.
Man.
He overthrew Johnson, who was the fastest wide receiver that year. Remember that?
I do.
He overthrew him by 10 yards. Oh, he just put a little too much on that one. You shouldn't be able to outthrow a guy that fast.
No.
If you're decent.
Yeah, like you said, having a gun for an arm is not if you can't.
So Timmy, I perfected my roar.
Oh, you did? Okay. You had a little bit of help there. You got that echo.
Yeah. But it perfected that roar.
Yes, it
did. Man, that's funny. That's funny. That is funny.
When I'm watching my podcast, when I'm watching the chat now, whenever somebody new comes on, I got two little soundtracks on my soundboard, and I'll play one or the other. It'll either be this, or this. That one's got a little groove to it. I like it.
You like that one?
Right.
I like that one.
So every time my dad pops in, because I call him Smoking Dad, I'll hit that one. Well, my dad, he's the reason why I got a voice like this. Is he was the DJ for parties and celebrations and stuff like that. So I practiced mimicking how he would talk into the mic, and that's how I got the mic voice.
Okay.
And
Nothing wrong with it.
I said it before when I first started my podcast. I got a face for radio and a voice for it.
And never cut yourself short on that one. Yeah,
Hey, if you can't pick on yourself, don't pick on anybody else.
that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
gotta
Especially in this sport industry, yes.
Right.
Mhm.
You got to be able to point out your own shortcomings.
Oh, definitely.
And I do it religiously.
Yeah. Because everybody's not going to agree with what you're saying. So, and as a sports person, you have to know that.
Right.
You can't take criticism. You shouldn't be in the industry. You know what I mean?
Right.
I go into an NFC North page as one of my channels now on Facebook, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I say I'm the home of the bad takes because there's 3 teams that's going to hate me already. I'm 75% wrong.
Let me guess what those
I might be a part of that group too.
NFC North, the huddle.
Yep. I think I'm part of that group too.
Are you doing the Roku and Amazon stuff with them? Have you talked to Mike Carrico?
I haven't yet. I haven't done that yet.
Talk to him, see if he's got a time slot.
Oh.
See if they got a time slot available, because if it works with your schedule, you could set it up. They've got some slots available like in the mid to late evenings. If you like this anyways, throw something together, put an hour show together, because it has to be an hour, because that's how the Roku time slot works.
Hey, that's fine with me.
Trying to help you to grow, because we don't get paid by it. You know, the people who pay for the app get paid for it. They're just trying to fill it and have, 12 to 18 hours of live shows every day.
Yeah.
Hey, that's cool with me. As long as my stuff is out there, I don't even care if I don't get paid. It's cool with me.
I have a couple of my guys go, God, this is great. I'm watching you on TV and typing through my phone on YouTube.
I was called by Roku to go ahead, or by Effective TV, but I wasn't sure about it. I almost did it, but I'm not consistent enough.
I suggest go to one of the app guys that create the apps for you rather than getting a Roku channel. Roku channels are expensive. I looked into it.
Right.
Because there's FCC licensing, there's this, that, and the other. Whereas I might be able to afford $300 a month for somebody to run an app, and just all I got to do is update it every now and then.
Mm-hmm.
$300 for a man. Somebody said, depending on what you want, it can cost you the licensing with FCC is $2,500. That's off the top. So automatically, if you're going to get your own channel, it's going to cost you that up front before you ever even get the channel. And the channels, depending on what package you want, are anywhere from $10,000 to $30,000.
Wow.
Woo. Woo.
But that's to be actually like listed in their guide, have a set list of shows, blah, blah, blah. But then you got to do a lot of production and stuff like that. Whereas the app, hey, it's a podcast channel. Huddle Sports Network. Download the app. You can watch us on TV. That's all you got to say.
Okay.
It's all about investing in yourself and knowing your worth. That's what it is.
And being on an app that's on your TV makes you go beyond a podcaster. Now you're a broadcaster. So you got to get that podcaster mentality out of your head.
Right. So is that what Effective TV is, like a app?
Yeah.
So that's who contacted me.
That's probably who it is. It's probably one of them. It'll cost you like $200-300 a month, and it's
Yeah.
worth it. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
that's what you want. But at the same time, you got to have enough content to fill a day.
That's why. Yeah.
There's not
That's why I
enough
always.
for you. So if it's just you yourself, it's not worth it. But if you
Right.
have 3 or 4 guys that have a podcast that want to do it, and you can
Mm-hmm.
come up with a network name,
Right.
there you go. Just like I'm developing kneecap biting, it will always be the name of my channel because that's
Right.
how everybody's able to find me, and that's what when I comment on YouTube, that's what I come up as.
Mm-hmm.
And it's catchy. My
Right.
shows change their names quicker than some people change underwear. I ain't gonna lie, because I might just change the name of the show to it. But there's certain shows I never will change. My Wednesday
Mhm.
night show is the NFL Roundtable Talk. During the off season, I take the top 3 pure NFL news, not just Lions, and I talk about the
Right.
NFL and fans of other teams. But during the season, after it's over, we do the weekly pick'ems because it's on Wednesday night. So we're actually picking Thursday, all of the Sunday games, and the Monday game. And I've done pretty good. My first year that I did it, I won 196 out of 278 games.
Wow. Wow.
I've been no less than 65% after that.
Mm-hmm.
But my first year was my great year. But that was the year we went 3-13. But I knew we were going to be bad. So yes, I pretty
Oh,
much
yeah.
picked the Lions for a majority of the year until we started to look like a team. And we didn't look like a team until we got rid of Anthony Lynn.
Right. Right.
That's true.
Exactly. You ain't
But
lying.
I can say, because I met the guy, I interviewed him. He does the shout out at the beginning of my thing. That's Charles Harris's signature right there.
Oh, wow. Cool.
Oh, wow.
I got that in 2022, just before the training camp started, just before the draft, up in Kochville, Michigan, by Saginaw. He did a signing. Didn't cost you anything to get in. I bought the helmet for $30. I bought his signature for $20, and I paid $8 to get it certified right there on the spot.
That's not bad at all.
Right.
That's
No,
not
it's
bad.
way than a lot of everybody else's signatures.
Huh. Huh.
Yeah, I know.
You tell me.
Way cheaper than this one right here. That's a Barry Sanders. Way cheaper than that one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Way cheaper than this guy.
What?
Who just made his first Pro Bowl. Amon-Ra St. Brown.
St. Brown. Downtown St. Brown.
Crazy about that is I was supposed to get a signed jersey, but Fanatics, who they were ordering their stuff through, kept sending the wrong thing.
Mm-hmm.
So he finally said, and it was because it was Super Bowl squares for that
Right.
year in 2021. I bought like 6 squares out of the box, 10 by 10.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I get 2 quarters. So instead of the jersey, I got that special edition helmet with Amon-Ra's signature.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Wow. I'll take that all day, 100%. As a matter of fact, other than the Charles Harris one, I've won all of my stuff through breaks, which means I've paid a fraction of what their signature is. That helmet right there is worth $400 with certified that I got on it, the Barry Sanders. I got it for $50.
Oh, yeah.
Hey.
What?
Yeah, I would say you did good.
Here's at $10, so I paid $60 right now. I'm on Ron's signature because he made the Pro Bowls worth $250.
Wow.
I've got a Justin Jefferson. I've got a Tua Tagovailoa. I got a Darius Leonard just before he changed his name.
I came so close in meeting Justin Jefferson last year. I came so close.
And it's a custom helmet. It's the drip.
Oh, man.
Oh, man.
Wow. I came so close to meeting him last year because he was on his way to the bus, and I was just about to meet him, but then they was rushing him to get back on the bus, and I said, "Oh."
You see the
Okay.
details on that? That's a iced out Cam Akers.
Oh wow.
Oh, wow.
And then
Wow.
I got a camo Darius Leonard just before he changed his name to Shaquille.
Mm.
That's going to
Mm.
become more rare now that he changed his name. He's not going to be signing Darius Leonard anymore.
Right.
Oh,
And
wow.
the camo version of the mini helmets are worth more than the regular one.
Mm.
So I'm just going to hold on to that bad boy for a while. And I've also got
Oh,
a
yeah.
James Robinson the third right after he had his 1,000-yard season in 2021 from the Jaguars.
That's pretty step. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's
So
cool.
I got 8 helmets. Not bad for a guy that just started collecting in 2021.
True.
Yeah.
And but
Yeah.
now that I got my own website, and the guy that I got all this stuff through, Dan Leonard, is my co-host. He does
Right.
all this memorabilia stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really?
That custom drip, that's his paint job.
Oh.
Did that on the helmet.
Oh.
Oh.
Memorabilia.
So
Yeah,
when
just
are you gonna get a wrestling belt?
he also made me a custom Christmas decoration. I got to show that to you. Give me just a minute. I'm gonna go off camera.
All right.
Okay. Wow. Wow. That's cool.
I want
That
to
man.
talk to those people that make the wrestling belts. I want to get one with the Maniac Sports on the face, and then with like side panels, NFC North, one with the Lions, and actually I could do the side panels. Just do the 4 teams that are on it on the side panels. That'd be awesome.
Oh, that'd be cool. That'd
Mm-hmm.
be very cool.
Of
That'd be
course, I
dope.
could. Of course, I could end up doing the knock money off belt.
So
Yeah, I gotta get some mini helmets for other teams too. Because normally when I get signed, I'll get it like a hat. I'll have them sign a hat.
those Walmart crackers.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
That is the custom paint job he did for a Lions helmet on it.
Oh
Wow.
wow. Wow.
He calls it cracked ice.
Mm.
You know, because a plain mini helmet with nothing on it costs you about $30. You know,
Mhm.
that's just a base white model, no paint, no nothing. He did that paint job himself.
Wow. Wow.
Oh, I didn't
So
even show you the best part.
I'll
This
pay
little
you
here
for
is
it.
Milton JB Jr.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I'll pay you for it, but can you have him do one with my logo on it?
What you would have to do is send me the JPEG of your logo. I'll send it
Okay.
to him and ask him how much it would be. Now, what do
Okay.
you want? You want something like that, like what I just showed, that type of helmet with that special paint job, or do you want just a flash or one of the white ones, or do you want the new blue and black helmet,
Blue and black.
the blue and black helmet, the new one, but with
Yeah.
their logo on one side and the Lions logo on the other?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
I could probably get that done. I'll find out how much it is, but I got to get that from you, and I'll talk to him. We'll get it done.
Mhm.
He's that type of guy. And he's got access to get all that stuff at a different price. But what we're
Mhm.
going to start doing is selling all that memorabilia. Like he made me this for the draft. He does the
Right.
custom ranking tumblers. It
Mhm.
literally says NFL Draft 2024 on it. Comes with a metal straw and everything, 20-ounce tumbler. That'll
Oh
keep
wow.
almost 2 full Mountain Dews cold for 8 hours if you got it closed with no straw in it.
Oh
'Cause it's
really?
Mhm.
insulated aluminum.
Wow. Wow.
I got
Refreshing.
that. I got one where it shows a skull and he's wearing a lion's ball cap and he's got a bandana across from the whole villain thing. I got one like that. Working on getting another one because it's my fake sponsor for my show, so I can be drinking it when Packer fans are live on my NFL show. It says FTP right on it.
Okay. All day, all night, every day,
and twice on Sundays.
yeah,
Exactly.
yep.
3 times if you're lucky.
You know how to get under Packer fan skin, though.
Oh
Is
yes.
all you got to do is tell them. Dan Campbell says that Lambeau is now called Ford Field North because he hasn't lost there yet.
That makes sense.
Yep.
It makes sense. And I keep forgetting he hasn't lost there yet. I keep
Haven't
forgetting about that.
since Dan Campbell took over, and he's 4-2 versus the Packers.
Wow. Wow.
Who'd have thunk?
Man.
Who'd have thunk it that the only two
Yeah.
games lost were right here in Ford Field?
I know, and one was on Thanksgiving. Remember when we used to win about 50% of our Thanksgiving Day games?
But I got good news, boys. That happened all during the Barry era, right?
Yeah.
And then it went away. But ever since Matt Millen took over, it has been every 7 years. Guess what happened 7 years ago on Thanksgiving this year?
Airlines won.
Minnesota. Bears are screwed. We're due.
Yes!
Be due. It's got to be due this year.
I got a roar out of Tim. But at the same time, we're also talking about Caleb in week 12. We're not talking about Caleb in the first 5 weeks.
But hopefully.
And they faced the Titans in week 1, and then they got the Texans, so they'll be 1-1.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
No matter what, they'll
Ooh.
be 1 at best.
Right.
But I do have an interesting set of factoids for you. Kurt Warner put out a list last week, and it had to do with incompletions due to inaccurate passes, with a minimum of 175 passing attempts. Let's start at the top. Let's go the reverse way I normally do. Normally, I start with the highest percentage. I'm gonna start with the lowest percentage. The lowest percentage was Geno Smith last year at 21.6%. Jake Browning, who had just over 200 attempts, was at 22.2. Kirk Cousins, who had in his 5 games 250 attempts. That's 50 of the game. That tells you they had no running game. That's why they got Aaron Jones. 23.2%. Then it's Patrick Mahomes at 24.5. This one is shocking. Russell Wilson at 25.3. And then low impact. I'm going to skip them for later because it is just too good to let it out right now. Justin Herbert was 26.4. Dak Prescott was 27.2. Will Levis was 27.4, and he played over half a season.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Josh Allen played all year and was at 27.8. Kyler Murray played, 5 games when he got hurt? 28.3. Zach Wilson played half a season. He was at 28.6, which was better than Brock Purdy, who played all year at 28.7. Joe Burrow was at 28.9. Jalen Hurts was 29%. You see how they go up pretty quick, though, right?
Oh, yeah.
Mayfield is at 29.2. Desmond Ritter wasn't as bad as everybody thought at 29.5 because he played the majority of the year. Derek Carr, 30.1. Now we're starting to get scary. Justin Fields at 30.8, and tied with him was Gardner Minshew. Then there was the guy that he only played 5 games, but he threw the ball a lot because their running game was hurt. Joe Flacco. Ryan Tannehill played the first half of the season at 32.1%. Jimmy Garoppolo played half a season, 32.2. Now we're starting to get up there, 32.9 for Bailey Zappi, 33 for Sam Howell, 33.1 with one less game than Bailey Zappi was Mac Jones. Tua was 34.3. Daniel Jones was 34.6. Then we start seeing more backup show up in this list. Josh Dobbs, 34.8. Oh, here's another starter, 34.9 for Matthew Stafford.
Wow.
Easton Stick that took over for Justin Herbert while he was hurt with the Chargers, 34.9. Kenny Pickett started most of the year with the Pittsburgh Steelers, 35%. Aiden O'Connell played 9 games, 35.4%. CJ Stroud, as great as he was, had 35.6%. Trevor Lawrence in his 5 games before he got hurt, 36.1%.
Wow.
And lo and behold, we got this guy that played all year, the only quarterback to play all year other than Jared Goff. Who was it? They talk about it all the time. Only 2 quarterbacks played all 17 games in the season.
Lamar Jackson?
No, Lamar Jackson missed 2 games this year. Remember, he had that illness, and then he had that thumb sprain.
Oh, that's right. That's right. That's
Jordan, 36.2%.
Oh.
Lamar Jackson was 36.7. Bryce Young, the number 1 pick overall, was 37.7. And then there's 3 guys that should be backups, but one of them is considered a starter. Trevor Siemian, 38.8. You know that's not a starter. Tyrod Taylor, 40.6. He's not a starter. Deshaun Watson, 43.9%, led the league in inaccurate passes.
Wow. Wow.
So way back in 6th place at 26.3%, it is none other than Jared motherfucking Goff. The only backup ahead of him was Jake Browning for the Browns, remember, because he came in, was playing good, and then got hurt. Then they brought another guy, and then they went and called Joe Flacid to get off the couch and take his Viagra.
Right. Yeah. Then Dorian Thompson got hurt, and all them got hurt. Yep.
So, knowing all that, and that Green Bay might be making Jordan Love the highest paid quarterback in the league here in the next couple of days. Most of that was during the first part of the season. Remember, because he had a bad game versus Chicago, but they won. He had some horrible games in between, but they won a couple. And they had those 7 great games to end the season. And they were great games.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. He looked great. You know what the difference was? Aaron Jones being back and what little bit of their O-line could be healthy was.
Yep.
Well, O-line means a lot to Jordan Love. Running game means a lot to Jordan Love. Jordan Love is the Jared Goff of the Green Bay Packers.
Yes, he is.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he is.
He's good as the team around him.
Right.
He did not elevate his wide receivers' play. They all grew together at the same time and got good at the same time, is what I think.
Yes, they did.
So right now, we have a data set of 1 for Jordan Love. Bears fans are trying to call him out as a diva and all that, but I will tell you one thing that I found out. His agent and the GM decided to have him do the hold in. He's at camp. He just is not taking place in team activities. And the reason why, he only makes $14.5 this year. He's the lowest paid starting quarterback in the league. If he gets hurt before the deal is done, that deal will not be as good, correct?
Correct.
That's correct.
The agent wants his percentage of every penny he can get, right?
Right.
And Gutekunst is like, well, I want to protect our quarterback, so he's not worried about contract talks and not concentrating in the play on the field and taking a bad hit or something like that. So I get it.
Mm-hmm.
It 100% makes sense. Now, when it becomes an issue to me is if he hasn't signed his contract by Friday, now it becomes an issue because he already missed a week of camp. Because if it isn't signed by 4 o'clock on Friday, the paperwork can't be turned in until Monday. Because the NFL offices are closed on Saturday and Sunday.
Right.
So I'm just thinking Raiders. Michael Gallup retires.
Oh wow.
I saw it coming.
Mm-hmm.
He's been another guy, a lot like Keenan Allen. Never really plays a full season. Doesn't have bad years. Productive player, but can't stay on the field.
Right.
And he might have went out there today, ran around with the team, and just said, "I can't do this, guys." And I get it. NFL is not an easy sport. If it was an easy sport, we'd all be making millions.
Yeah. Yep.
Am I wrong?
You're right. You're right.
You're not wrong at all. You're right as hell.
Michael Gallup had a good career for his 6 years.
Mhm.
Problem is, he had a quarterback that is basically, well, he had Dak Cousins. Because Kirk Prescott played for the Vikings. And I will say one thing. I saw the top 10 list that PFF put out, and it had Dak Prescott at 10, and Jordan Love wasn't up there in the top 10. And I disagree with that. I think Jordan Love, because of the way he handed Dak his butt in that playoff game, he deserved the 10th spot. I don't think Justin Herbert deserves to be in the top 10. I damn sure don't think Trevor Lawrence, who has worse stats overall than Daniel Jones, belongs anywhere above that. He's 1% less on completion percentage. He has 2,000 more yards and 4 less touchdowns, 2 more interceptions than Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones is considered a bust, and he's considered a top 10 quarterback.
That's just crazy.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
Wow.
And the QBR for Daniel Jones is 10 points higher than Trevor Lawrence. And both of them had bad coaches their rookie year.
Yep.
Urban Meyer was a bad coach. Joe Judge definitely was a bad coach. Yeah. Joe Judge was so bad that when he went with Matt Patricia to coach Mac Jones stopped being a guy that could take the Patriots to the playoffs. You love Matt Patricia when I say that, don't you?
I do. Or Fatty Patty.
I know why. I know why Snacks held out in 2019. Matt Patricia refused to loan him his platinum Golden Corral card.
Damn. Can't give that up. Can't give that up.
Matty Patricia.
By year 3, when he was riding around in that golf cart, he was wired to the bench seat. That had to move the steering wheel to the middle because he couldn't fit in there in the one seat. He had to put a cheek in each one.
Oh man!
Oh gosh! You know when he, I heard when the Lions did come up with a Fatty Matty Patty, they couldn't sell it because Fatty Matty kept eating all the patties.
They couldn't sell it because it had so much fat in it that the meat wouldn't stick together. So they changed it to the Fatty Matty loose meat sandwich.
Oh man!
Oh god!
You haven't had a chance to be on when I'm like this, have you, Steve? You haven't had a chance to be on with me when I'm.
No.
Oh boy!
Now you fans love me because I do stuff like this at least once a week where I go on a tear.
But that's good. That means that you having fun while doing it. So that's a good thing. One thing about this, you gotta have fun doing it.
The one thing I will say is they like the fact that I give the reasons why we won't do most of those trade rumors that come out.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's like, "What do you mean we won't do it?" I said, why are we going to give up a first-round pick, a third-round pick for L'Jarius Sneed, and then have to sign him to a $20 million contract when we got 3 guys we're talking about signing in the next 2 years?
Right.
Yeah.
We're going to draft somebody. we might even draft. I said it on your show. We might even draft 2 corners.
Mm-hmm.
We're not trading for one.
Right.
I told you that, Tim, didn't I?
Yeah. Yeah, you did.
Did I expect it to be first and second round? Hell to the no. What did I like the Ennis Straw pick at first? No, but then I thought about it. Wait a minute,
Mm-hmm.
we didn't take him in the first round. Okay, now I'm starting to like it a little bit. If he'd have been our pick in the first round,
Right.
I would have reacted the way everybody did about the Gibbs pick and the Campbell pick last year.
Oh God. Yeah.
Because let's say, and I'm just throwing this out there. I sit there and said, if you took all the picks that they made from the beginning of the third round to pick 12 in the first round, and you reversed the order they were picked, and Hendon Hooker was never hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Think about that order now. That means at 12, you'd have Hendon Hooker. At
Mm-hmm.
18, you'd have had Brian Branch.
Mm-hmm.
You still would have had Sam Laporta at 34.
Yep. That's true.
Yep.
That's
You
true.
know, all you're doing is reversing the order, and then you'd have had
Mhm.
Jack Campbell, then you'd have had Jahmyr Gibbs. If it had been that way, it'd have been the positional value that everybody wanted in the draft. Correct?
Correct. Correct.
But because we went running back, linebacker in the first round, everybody said, what the fuck is Detroit doing? We were making the NFC Championship, you fool.
and Brad, we trust. And Brad, we trust.
Oh yeah.
I trust his draft picks way better than any of his free agency moves.
Mm-hmm.
We have seen
Absolutely.
every year one of his free agency moves is a flop.
Right.
That's we make 3 or 4 of them, and one of them flops every year.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
And Emmanuel
True.
Mosley wasn't his fault.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cam Sutton, on the other hand, that was a combination effort. That was Brad Holmes, AG, and the fact he was a zone corner trying to play man.
Right.
And trying to play through the turf way is not easy too, but yeah.
Right. And that didn't start till week 7, though.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And he still decided to play with that too. So
and that was up to him. And yes, the Lions are going to be under investigation because of what Amon-Ra told everybody on Netflix on receiver about him tearing that oblique from the bone last year in week 4. But at the same time, if he never told Campbell, and
right.
he never seen doctors about it, it's on Amon-Ra, and there's nothing they can do to the Lions.
Exactly.
But if it's wrote down in any of those reports that he complained about an oblique strain and it wasn't checked out, the Lions are going to get a fine, possibly lose a late round pick, and that's about it.
Yeah.
It isn't the end of the world. Somebody goes, yeah, that's cheating. I said, how is it cheating if the guy's playing hurt and still performing?
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's
Unbelievable.
not like he took a PED and went out there and outperformed. The guy played with half a core. Obliques are a muscle injury.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And still played at a high level.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he still had. Let's see. If that happened in week 4, that means that there were 13 games left. With 13 games left, he still had 7 over 100-yard receiving games.
Wow.
That's incredible. That's incredible.
That tells you how tough that SOB is.
Yeah, it sure does.
And hearing that too, he deserved the money that he's got.
Oh yeah.
Even going through that.
Mm-hmm.
Even that coming out after the contract, that just proved his worth.
Yep. And that just shows how his attitude had changed from when he didn't want to be a Lion to now where he has embraced this Lion. I mean, he didn't play, like he didn't want to be a Lion. I'm just saying, when they drafted him, He had said himself he didn't want to be like, way back.
Think about that.
He wanted to be a Packer, but now he wants to beat the Packers' ass.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because he wanted to be a Packer because his brother was a Packer.
Right.
So,
and I get that. I get that. That's nepotism at its finest.
Yeah.
And I get it. But at the same time, if you watch his podcast, he loves talking shit to EQ.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, he does. And his brother loves talking about Detroit. And I'm like, hey, man, you don't even see the field that much to even talk. So, now you with the Saints, and you probably ain't going to get that much time with the Saints, too. So, I'm just saying.
The only game that he could really talk about was the game they won in Chicago because EQ had a touchdown. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's the game he deserved to speak, and they won. 100%.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember when they were talking about the first one, he goes, y'all shouldn't have won that game. He goes, what are you talking about? You weren't even on the field.
Right. Exactly.
I didn't. Yep. You were like John Cena. TV.
And then he's still salty because when he was a free agent that the Lions didn't sign him, and he still feels some type of way. And he's even mad at Amara because he ain't stick up for him to try to get him to sign with the Lions. And I'm like, it's not his job.
Right.
Literally what he said, he goes, if they told me they were bringing you in for an interview, I'd have said, hell yeah, I want my brother on my team. They didn't tell me that. It's not my job to make them give you an interview.
Exactly.
Right.
And that's what he said. And he goes, you are going to make it on your own. I'm not going to be the reason you make it somewhere.
Facts.
I respect him more for that.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I just joined another podcast the Saturday mornings at 9 a.m. It's called The External Bum. And we look at sports bums around the world in all sports, right?
Mm-hmm.
So last week was my debut show. What happened Monday? That horrible national anthem before the home run derby, right? 4-time Grammy winner gets drunk, goes out there and sings like it. She looked like it was like the national anthem done at a bad karaoke night.
Yes, it was.
The next night, the American League walked out, and that jersey was an affront to my eyes. It was the ugliest thing I ever seen in my life.
Oh my God! I'm glad I'm not the only one that thought that. Them jerseys,
and the only one
did better than that.
Is go look at the San Diego Padres City Connect jersey.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only one worse than the American League All-Star jersey.
Yeah.
And just when I thought it couldn't get any worse, number 2 pick in the WNBA, Alex Sarr. He goes 0 for 15 from the field and 0 for 2 from the charity stripe, 0 for 3 from three-point land. This was supposed to be the next big thing out of Europe. The 2 former 2 picks that are big in the league right now.
Mm-hmm.
John Morant and Trae Young, right?
Right.
They at least average 9.8 points a game in the G League before they became regular season players. This guy's averaging 5.6. Bronny's almost tied with him.
Yes.
He was picked at 56.
Right.
5.2 points per game and looking better every game. This guy got worse.
And nobody talks about that. But they talk about Bronny every time.
I know. And I get why they talk about Bronny. Because technically, if you look at his skill set, he should have been a UDFA.
Yeah.
And that's no knock to Bronny. That's being realistic about what he was while he was at USC.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And let's not forget, I'm glad he wasn't a first-round pick, because that poor kid might have had another heart attack.
You ain't lying.
All that pressure. He went out on the floor for the preseason practice the year before with USC and had a heart attack.
Yeah, he did.
Right.
People,
He did.
people didn't even realize this. You know what I mean? And
Mhm.
I'm not knocking Bronny. The guy I'm knocking is LeBron James. You know, the current head coach of the Lakers, because they're paying $8
Right.
million to the assistant head coach JJ Redick.
Oh, how true. How true.
So that just goes to show you, I do follow all sports.
Oh yeah, I do too. I do too.
Yeah.
I follow everything.
I
follow everything as well.
I didn't like our first round pick
Mhm.
for the Pistons. I liked their second round pick better.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, we were the worst 3-point shooter in the league, and you take a guy that only hits 24%, which is less than the team average last year.
Exactly. Yeah.
When you had the center from UConn that can shoot from half court and defend at the rim at the same time and shipped off beef stew.
Yeah. Or you could even get somebody like Zach Edey. You know, that's another possibility.
I wanted the kid out of UConn.
I did too.
That's who I wanted. It was him or that Dalton Connect for shooting guard.
Yes.
Those are the two I wanted. And then Dalton Connect goes to the Lakers. At the end of the
so?
Like, what the heck's going on here?
Sometimes wonder.
But I will say, Dalton Connect did a nice feed to give an alley-oop to Bronny the other night. That was pretty to see. And it was pretty. It wasn't like one of those little fakey alley-oops, too. Bronny got up there.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It wasn't a posterized, but it was old school, like when a team beat somebody. I liked it. 2:30 in the morning.
Yeah, I know.
Remember when we used to see that as kids, Steve and Tim?
Mhm.
Did you freeze up on us, Tim?
Oh, I'm here.
Or Steve?
I think Steve might have.
Steve might have. Oh, yeah, you froze for a second.
Yeah, this Wi-Fi, this darn it.
Yeah. Here too. But did you? What was I talking?
This time in the morning.
Oh, you remember those ads that used to come on just before the 11 o'clock news when we were kids? It's 10:30 at night. Do you know where your children are?
Yep.
Yeah.
Those need to come back.
Yeah, they do.
Yep.
It's in this day and age. Yes, they do.
Because these kids are wilding.
Oh man, they're getting worse, man. They getting worse. They don't care about themselves no more.
No.
But at the same time, our generation was the last ones to be punished. But yet, these kids are our products. So we're kind of to blame for it because we got softer than our parents were, and then our kids got softer than we were. I don't pull the punch.
And you know what?
I tear Band-Aids off. Let it bleed.
Yeah. And what's weird too is even the workplace got softer on the kids too. It's like
thank God we did it with the right to work thing here in Michigan.
Oh yeah, I agree totally. The right to work.
I understand it, but it literally denutted the unions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did.
And now unions are able to, push their weight around a little bit with employers, and that's a good thing.
Yeah.
So, Steve,
that's how it is.
What is your camp battles you're excited to see for the Lions?
Oh, camp battles?
Oh, camp. Well, I want to see Williams and shoot, I can't think of our number one draft pick. I can't think of his name right now.
Terry and Arnold.
Yeah, I
Okay.
want to see that, and I also want to see him against St. Brown too, because I mean, you're talking elite against elite.
All right.
Oh
No,
yeah.
what position battles, and you know what I mean as far as the depth is concerned. I'm saying like who versus who for what position? What are the ones you're thinking about, Steve?
As far as positioning, I would say, well, definitely the corners. That's one of them.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say the safety position too. With
I think it's set.
yeah, even with
I think
Kirby
the way
Joseph, Marathon and Branch and all of them.
well, according to what they said after OTAs, and Branch hasn't even taken a snap, and they already said he's going to be our starting strong safety. Kirby
Okay,
Joseph, Kirby Joseph is moving back to where he played his rookie year at free safety.
Okay.
I
okay.
think
So they go. So
he's
Marathon is
going to
going
be
to
like
be
a fighter
bent.
guy.
Oh wow,
You know,
wow.
come in those nickel and dime packages for blitzing and stuff like that,
Okay, okay.
because that's where he really did his best work.
Mm-hmm.
If you think about it, during those 6 games when they moved him into the box and let him blitz, and Kirby started playing center field again like he did this rookie year, and all of a
Mm.
sudden we were a different defense. And they went away from that in the NFC Championship game in the second half,
Yes, they did.
And that
and
hurt us.
they left CJGJ's bum ass out there.
Oh my God. Yep.
Ski mask and everything.
I didn't
Yeah.
mind the Scorpions thing. I didn't mind the villain squad thing. I thought it
I
was
didn't
great.
mind it either.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But when you let your mouth write checks your ass can't catch,
Mm-hmm.
Can't
that's
do
what
that.
I was. Yeah. And say what you want, that play that he got hurt on when he tore his pec, shoving Kenneth Walker the third down
Mm-hmm.
after the play was over, that gave him a 15-yard penalty that set up that touchdown to DK.
Yep.
That was the play that cost the game, because that was a stop on third down they'd have had to punt. The rest of it, it could have went down exactly how it was, but they'd have had 7 less points on the board.
True.
Mm.
There's
Man,
there's your food for thought thing. Because right
Mm-hmm.
there, that was the difference in that game.
yeah. Man, DK Metcalf. Man.
Yeah, just think we could have had him instead of Jelani Tavai.
Oh. Okay. Yeah. I know. That was that was one of that was oh gosh.
That's almost as hurtful as the Randy Moss thing. That's
Yeah.
almost.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
you remember how I know you, Jeremy, know how Jim. He was like so mad.
Hey, I'll tell you what. That was when I fell in love with Dan Campbell. That first speech.
Mm-hmm.
After the whole kneecap fighting thing, he started going over the roster, and he goes, "Gerard Davis, I like him. Great athlete. I think he's been
Mm-hmm.
misused." Left it at that.
Yeah.
And then he said, Jelani Tavai, and he let out that big sigh, and you saw his shoulders sag, and he looked down at the podium, and he goes, "I may or may not have broken my tablet or computer screen when we picked him."
Oh, man.
Oh gosh.
This is my coach.
Yeah.
And all I remember about that draft, because I was sitting there on the phone with my nephew, because he
Mm-hmm.
was at, he goes, "Who'd we take?" I said, "I don't know. He was so low on the list, they had to go find his film. They cut the commercial break. Just a little commercial break. It was like a 7-minute commercial break. You remember that, Steve?"
I do. I do. That's why I laugh.
And they
Oh, man.
and they left the round projection next to his name. That was the part that hurt.
That
When
that hurt even more.
Yeah.
when I saw 5th round projection.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Not a 3rd round, not a 4th round, a 5th round projection in the 2nd round.
Yeah.
Well, I was afraid that Philly or the Patriots are going to take him in the 5th round, baby.
We actually, me and Jim actually on our podcast talked to his coach, to Vice coach, and he said, you know, I mean the best thing that he could say about him was that we're going to learn that Tonga dance. That it's like really. I mean this.
The best thing you could
He
say
was.
about him is that he looked good on the bench when the offense was on the field.
Yep.
Can't argue with you on that one.
Yep. And he was supposed to be the generational talent. It was what that Bob Quinn said, and all this. You only find them once in a lifetime. Yeah, that was one of those scratch your head moments. Like, what the hell did you just do to Lions?
That you know, and I wasn't even that upset with the Jeff Okuda pick because he was projected as the 3rd best player.
Right. Right.
It went like we thought: Joe Burrow, Chase Young,
Yeah.
Jeff Okuda.
Right.
It's exactly what was expected.
Mm-hmm.
Can you say Derek Brown's having a better career than him right now? Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but has he had better team results?
Nope.
Not really. So it's a wash.
True.
I don't think Jeff Okuda would have been a bust if they could. The Quinn Trasher regime, and that's all the assistant coaches and everything. Those motherfuckers couldn't develop the old 1970s Polaroid film you had to dip in the lacquer, let alone a player.
Man.
Oh,
And the last year he was with the Lions, and when he was healthy, he didn't play that bad. I mean, he played pretty well
Yeah,
when he
with
was
Dan
yeah.
Campbell. Yeah, he had
healthy.
a few good games, and that was right after they got rid of Jamie Collins' bum ass, and we ate that contract.
I was so glad they got rid of him.
And
I
Trey
was praying.
Now, I will
oh,
admit, I was hyped about signing Trey Flowers because he was the best defensive end that free agency.
Mm-hmm.
But the game that ruined him, because his mental attitude totally changed, was that Green Bay Monday night game when he Phantom hands to the face penalty
Yep.
back to back.
yeah.
That is what ruined Trey Flowers. Because up till
Mm-hmm.
that point, he looked like he was worth every penny.
Yep.
Right.
We were defeated, remember? We tied with
Mm-hmm.
Arizona. We beat the next 2 teams. Then we should have beat Kansas City. It was that phantom late hit of Tracy Walker on Pat Mahomes on that 4th down. He threw an incomplete.
Right.
Man.
Here's
I
an
mean,
interesting stat for you.
I miss Tracy Walker. I'm not even gonna lie. I miss Tracy Walker.
I miss his tackling. I don't miss his coverage.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
I'm as honest as I can. That guy had so many footballs hit him in those 5 games in the hands that he couldn't catch. The only one he made an interception on was the tip drill.
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
And I think it's because it accidentally stuck to his arm. It's not because it hit him in the hands. But anyway,
Right.
I just, God love him. I loved his attitude. I loved his tenacity. That's what I loved about him.
Yeah.
But
Great
if
person.
you're only half of what you're supposed to be at a safety, I don't need to.
Right. Right. Right.
If
I
he
know.
did better in coverage last year in his 6 games, he had 2 picks.
True.
Derek Barnes did better in coverage than Tracy Walker, and that's not saying much.
That's true. That's true.
He intercepted Nick Mullins in that last game of the season, remember?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a pretty pick. It wasn't one of those fluke ones. It was a nice, pretty coverage, grab it. tuck it in and run a little bit. That's one of those pretty picks. You don't normally see that out of linebackers, not like that.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we've played him out of position ever since he's been here. He was never a middle linebacker for Perdone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's right. I call him Perdone.
See, and that's another position I want to see during training camp, linebacker position. I want to see that.
I want to see them start using Rodrigo and Barnes in the Sam position and rope Houston in with them because he's really not big enough for defensive end.
Right.
Yeah.
And right now, I would use Barnes or Rodrigo in the coverage thing because don't forget, Rodrigo started out as a safety in college and moved to linebacker because he got so thick he wasn't as fast anymore. He's still quick, don't get me wrong, but he's not fast like he was his freshman and sophomore year.
Right.
Sure.
Right.
Did you read the report about what he did in high school before he even went to Oklahoma State?
No.
He played on an Iron Man football team.
What?
He was the quarterback, the safety, kick and punt returner, and then the kicker got hurt and he had to finish the season as the kicker too.
Wow.
Oh.
And they won their state championship in that Iron Man division.
I'll be damned.
He threw in 12 games, he threw for 3,462 yards. That's more than any Chicago Bear quarterback in history.
Man, I'm surprised that's better than Jay Cutler.
Oh, we got nicknames for him too. That was the Gay Butler.
Oh man, just to see him sulk on the sidelines was just priceless.
But he threw for 20 touchdowns. He returned 6 touchdowns, and he had 3 pick sixes that senior year.
Man,
he was the man in that school.
Oh yeah, no question, no question.
And he was an all-state high school wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And that explains how he hip tossed Jason Kelsey like a rag doll.
True.
It makes sense.
God, that was hilarious. When I saw that, I was like, this guy's a lion for life. He just threw a 300-pound man like a wet sack of taters.
Like it was nothing.
And made him go viral.
Because
that was way before Travis dated that warp 2x4 called Taylor Swift. You know how they say the carpenter's dream is the old joke. It was pretty bad, saying it was a young girl flat as a board, never been nailed. That's a carpenter.
Oh my gosh.
And that's another example. Is if you have money, you overlook everything else.
Mm-hmm.
Amen.
Yeah, that's a prime example of that.
Put her picture up next to Napoleon Dynamite's poster, and I was like, "Oh my God, they're the same person." You've never seen them both in the same place. You can't tell me it's not.
You ain't looking.
Oh my gosh.
That make me want to bring out my Napoleon Dynamite shirt.
Look at his face and put it next to a picture of Taylor Swift and tell me they don't look alike. Same color hair, that reddish blonde. Same cheekbones, same chin, same smile.
Maybe he's her double.
Could be. You never know.
Yeah.
Maybe she's his stunt double.
That too. That too.
Oh
So
God.
the best part about being at the draft was watching Caleb talk to the Chicago media because I had nothing to say to him. I didn't want to know anything. So I just sat back and listened.
Mm-hmm.
And as he's getting up to leave, he stands up and one of the reporters says, "Hey, Caleb, can you give us a bear down?" He looks at him and his pink fingernails wrap around that microphone. He leans in real close and he goes, "Go Bears."
Oh my gosh.
So my joke that next day when I talked about it on the podcast just before the draft started, I said, "Yep, just proof. Caleb Williams can't say bear down because his girlfriend makes him say it just before she begs him."
Hey, but he said bear down on his way going back to the hotel room though.
That's right. I need to bear down, mommy. Okay.
Oh, OMG.
Yeah, I'm bad. I know. But that's when
I
I
had,
came.
I had a
That is-
chance to run into him too. I think the first day of the draft, what was the first or the day before? I had a chance to run into him. He's like, "Oh well, I think everybody, because I think he was with his family or whatever." And I don't know if it was his agent or somebody came up to him. He's like, "Hey, he could take pictures, but he ain't doing no autographs." Said,
Hey,
okay, I didn't want an autograph, but okay, I'll take a picture. And as you're taking a picture, you can see his fingernails, and I'm like, "Oh God."
I wonder when he throws the pass if he's gonna go. Then he go like this to the camera.
oh God.
But you know what? He might, but he might paint his fingernails special on that Thanksgiving game. He might.
I can't help myself because that was when I came up with the nickname LGBTQB1.
Oh my gosh.
It's gonna be interesting to see them Bears this year, man. I'm like,
His girlfriend, though, you saw her.
yeah.
She was hot.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'm bad.
Man, it's gonna be interesting because I'm actually be down there at training camp. I'm gonna actually be there this Saturday.
Well,
So
I'm going August 11th.
okay.
I'm gonna go down there on a Sunday. I'm meeting up with Will Rock and Eric of the Uperlights.
Yeah. I'm gonna be down there that day too. So I'll probably see you down there.
Yeah. I'll let you know because we're talking about going out to breakfast like 8 or 9 a.m. that morning. We can all meet up, hang out, talk shop, talk Lions.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And I don't know if I want to do it the weekend before or the weekend after. I do want to do a get together and go to Williamston to that corn maze of Dan Campbell. I thought that would be interesting. When I saw that picture, I was like, "Well, this is awesome."
Oh yeah. I know where you. Yeah.
That's not too far from you, is it, Tim?
Where's it at again?
It's just about 20 miles south of Lansing.
Oh, it shouldn't be too far. No.
Well, we'll let
Okay,
each other know what day we'll do it. I
Yep.
got a couple of the fans from my podcast that want to go. I want to make a day out of it. Like, go grab some hot dogs and one of those little tabletop grills from like Dollar General and cook out, and then go walk across Dan Campbell's face. Maybe get a drone and have him do one of those overhead pictures while we're standing in the middle.
Get one of those good drones. Yep. Yeah, that'll be cool.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be real cool.
Sure
But
will be.
I can't. Yeah, I can't wait for training camp, man. It's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be
It's gonna be a fun time.
our first game is versus the Giants on the 8th, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And they're doing the combined teams training again.
I haven't heard anything about them doing that. I
Yeah.
don't think they're doing it this year.
We're doing it with the Giants, and I think we're doing it with the Steelers in week 3.
Oh, okay. I haven't even heard about that.
2 years ago, we did have the one with the Giants, and the fight broke out.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
I want to see some more of that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm quite sure it had something to do with Aiden going, "Hey Thibodeau, what's it like to be in my shadow?"
Yeah.
And how bad did the Jags look taking Trayvon Walker over Aiden Hutchinson now?
Oh man. That was a blessing.
Mm-hmm.
It was, but I predicted it.
Mm-hmm.
The GM wants it. He turns in the card. You watch that pick is going to be Trayvon Walker on his upside, and no stats to back it up.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And you forget that he's a number one. And everybody think Aiden Hutchinson is number one. You don't even talk about Trayvon Walker.
He's the second pick overall, but he's number one in our hearts.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I got.
Yes, sir.
Let's see. I think I got almost all the rookie jerseys I want since Dan Campbell's been here. I got a Sewell. I got an Amon Ra. I've got a Rodrigo. I got a Hutch. I got a Laporta. I got a Gibbs. I got a Hooker. I got a Branch.
Oh,
now it gets better. I ordered my Hendon Hooker.
No better than a Hooker.
Wait, I ordered my Hendon Hooker in a throwback 2010 black.
Oh wow. Wow.
And one of my fans on the podcast, and off the top of my head, I went bad. He goes, "Well, why'd you get it in black?" I said, "Because I've never had either." He goes, "What?"
Oh man, yeah.
I gotta use that one. I gotta use that one. Good. That was good. I gotta use that one. Gotta put it on the shirt.
The reaction of everybody in the chat was just like what you just did, because we all have that sense of humor. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
And Bandit from his show, right?
Yep.
He was on the podcast when I said it because I was wearing it. He goes, "I gotta fix that for you." I got one now.
Oh man. Oh man.
No, he goes, "I mean the other." Oh, okay.
Yep. I gotta give me a Zoom jersey. I want to get it in that New Jersey, but I couldn't get it.
Right. Well, that's the other thing I'm working on, is getting with a partnership where I'm ordering direct from the factory to save my fans money on jerseys, stitched jerseys. They're not exactly the game worn ones, because those ones are just a different animal. You can't even get those at Dunham's. These are just like the ones at Dunham's, the Nike authentic jerseys stitched.
Oh.
Probably going to be about 75, maybe $80 shipped. Compared to 130 at NFLshop.com plus shipping.
You ain't lying.
And the new ones, the black jerseys, they're $200.
Woo. Man.
Wow.
I will get pricing up, get my website up and running, and then we'll start taking orders.
Sound good. Sound good.
And what's funny is hockey jerseys, even though there's more material and more stitching, they cost less than NFL jerseys.
Really?
Wow.
I never knew that.
I can get them for $50, $55.
Oh, that's not bad.
No.
That's not bad.
I ordered so many jerseys that last order, I got a free Cade Cunningham.
Can't go wrong with that.
That's because I ordered all of our rookies in one shot. Jack Campbell, Sam Laporta, Brian Branch, Jameer Gibbs, and an order. All that came in one order.
Wow. 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 That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I dig. I dig it.
I don't have my Jameson Williams yet because I didn't know if he was sticking with 9 or not. Because he started out the first year, he was going to have this number, and then it changed. I was like, okay, I'm holding out. Then he changed to 9 the next year.
Mm-hmm.
1 because of Cam Sutton. And this year they gave 1 to Maurice Alexander. I think that was out of spite.
That had to be. It had to be.
Grandizer 12. Welcome to the chat.
Hey, Grandizer 12, how's it going?
Yeah, that's just like how Bears fans during the draft when they was rocking the Caleb Williams jersey, but they come to find out he changed his number. I know they was mad. I know they was mad.
I'm getting it with the number 1, and it's going to say exactly what I call him, his nickname on the back of it. And I don't care if I got a tailgate for him to see it. I'm going to be right there by where the players walked in with facing away, and it's going to say LGBTQB1.
Oh man.
That custom jersey made.
Oh man. That is crazy. That's crazy. That is crazy.
Well, guys, it's 3 a.m.
Yes, it is.
I have to do my podcast at noon, work at 2, get out at 7, another podcast at 9, because podcasting work, it's easy, but it's not at the same time.
Right.
It's easy because I love doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yes.
The setup is the hard part, and getting your guests in order and all that good stuff.
Exactly.
But I'm sure I got a nice solid crew of guys. I got me a Steelers guy, I got a Vikings guy, I even got a Packers guy, I got a Patriots guy, I got a Panthers guy, and a Giants guy. That's a nice full round table of discussions, a little plethora of everybody.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely.
And if Jordan Love isn't signed again, I might start talking diva talk. I can't do it yet with 1 or 2 days of camp.
Right.
But come Thursday, all bets are off. If it's Friday at 4 o'clock, the Lions fan cave chat's going to be lit with love.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Mm-hmm. All kinds of love.
We're going to be throwing so much love, Green Bay's going to hate us. But I think that's weird that Jordan Love was that high for the inaccurate passes.
True.
In the beginning, he had 2 average games, and he had those 7 games that were just meh. And then he had 7 great games.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think he deserves over $55 million, but he's going to get it because they don't have a choice because that's what the market bears right now.
Yeah.
And I don't think they got trust in Sean Clifford.
No.
So
no, he didn't prove himself like a secret agent man down there in Chicagoland.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Tyson Bagent, you can say what you want. I said that kid was going to be good coming out. Even though he was a Division II player, I said, man, I had to go watch some game film. This kid is actually good. Got that NFL look to him.
Right.
And even though they only had a 2-2 record, he had 3 games straight without throwing a pick. He looked like the second coming of Mitch Trubisky there for a minute.
Yeah.
No, Trubisky, here's the crazy thing. Mitch Trubisky's been in the league for 7 years, just like Pat Mahomes, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's the only active quarterback with 7+ years and not 1 pick 6 thrown.
Wow.
He's never thrown a pick 6. all the games he started for Chicago and the few he started as a backup, he's never thrown a pick six.
And always do well against the Lions.
It's
We
like
don't.
freaking Joe Montana.
I know.
It was
But-
just a storm.
But that was versus the end of the era for Jim Caldwell's defense and the start of the Matt Patricia era. I don't think we can do that against this defense.
Right.
No.
Better not.
Can't
Better
do
not
it.
be able to.
What is your minimum expectations for passing defense this year? What do you consider acceptable growth? We were 29th in yardage, 22nd in scoring. What do you think is acceptable?
I would say it's to be in the middle of the pack, at least.
Mm-hmm.
At least in the middle.
Yeah, I
If you're
said
15, 16, or 17,
I said anywhere between 12 and 18.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
12 is the highest I'll go because I don't think they'll get into the top 10. But as an overall defense, if we continue the way we were on run defense as one of the best in the league,
Right.
we would be then a top 10 to maybe 12 defense in the entire league if we hit 18.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And if they stay healthy.
If we hit 12 in defense,
Mm-hmm.
now you're talking possibly even top 5 overall.
Right.
Because every team gets passed on. And I want to reiterate this. The best team in the league still got thrown on for over 265 yards a game. The worst one in the league, which wasn't us, and God damn it, it wasn't the Panthers either. That pisses me off. But we passed on for over 320 yards.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow. Wow. Mm. It's a passing league out
Yeah, it is.
But the Packers were 18th against the run.
here.
Mm-hmm.
You know what that? You know we went away from it on Thanksgiving. We can't keep going away.
No, we can't.
No.
Nope.
No.
That's
Nah.
what Ben Johnson needs to work on. What AG needs to work on is not having dog water secondaries. That's all I got.
Mhm.
I don't understand how a Pro Bowl caliber defensive back can't coach defensive.
Right.
You're right. You're right.
Yep. Exactly.
You're right.
Nobody that was here that was a pro already or wasn't a rookie got better in his tenure at corner.
True.
And that is my only concerning thing about the defense.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I can understand that. I can understand.
I was kind of hoping that we'd have been able to call Wink Martindale from off the couch after being fired from the New York Giants, and AG took a head coaching job somewhere. As much as I hate to say it, I wanted him gone.
Mhm.
When I
Right.
saw he went from 32nd to 31st to 29th, that is very minimal growth with the talent we expected to have on the
Mhm.
Exactly.
Yeah. Hopefully that can change with these two young corners. Hopefully,
Mm-hmm.
he can have fun coaching these guys because
Right.
they like being here, and these two young guys, they like going in competition with each other too. So it's rare you find that with two young rookies that's like that.
And
Team.
I heard that Carlton Davis thinks he's the one, and they kind of said that so far. I think Amik's going to outplay him. I don't know if I want to trust Carlton Davis as the one.
Right.
Been injured, and one of those guys where I'm like, maybe it'll work. Hopefully, But I know
Yeah.
whoever loses that battle is automatically the nickel. Then if Branch is the starting safety,
Yep.
because they
Yep.
already said Terry on Arnold is our.
Oh, no question. No question. No question. Or so you could even possibly have Brian Branch possibly even playing some linebacker for a little bit. I mean, just to
Yeah, if he just
spice it
pretty
up a
big and
little bit.
but don't forget we still got other guys that play linebacker too. We still got
Right.
JR. We still got
Mhm.
Rodrigo. We still got Barnes. But if the OTAs went as good as they did, you might hear that somebody else is taking the mic this year, and it might be Jack Campbell
Mhm.
because AG and Dan Campbell both said he's taken that leadership role and being more vocal with the guys. And he had the green dot at OTA. The green dot is the mic.
Mhm.
That's kind of big.
Absolutely.
I would love that
Absolutely.
because Angelone's getting at that age where his play might start to diminish back to how it was. This isn't he our oldest guy at 29 years old on the
I
defense?
believe so.
Yeah.
I believe so.
And Decker's our oldest guy on. No, I know it's Dan Skipper. I forgot. He's 38. If it wasn't for Dan Skipper, we would probably have the youngest team in the league.
No question.
It's
Yeah.
crazy to think about it because we
Yeah,
really
it
don't.
is.
We don't have a lot of rookies, but we drafted some guys that came out early and young. That's what I like.
Mhm. Mhm.
Good. And realistic expectation for JMO this season. What do you think it is, Steve?
Um. First thing is staying healthy. That's one. But I could see possibly somewhere around 70, 80 catches this year. Somewhere
I
around it.
with the weapons that we have on this roster, and there's a lot of them to feed in the passing game. You got Laporta. You got. Don't forget Raymond's very good when he's on the field too.
Yes.
Right.
You got DPJ. You got Amon Ra. You got possibly Antoine Green. I think those are the main guys that are going to be in at wide receiver other than JMO. And then you got Gibbs and Monty even receives out of the backfield from time to time. So I think a realistic expectation is anything 45 and up in reception, 750 plus yards, and 5 or more touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
Those are a realistic baseline because this is going to be his first full season too, and everybody has
Absolutely.
that. Even though it's his third year, it's his first real full season. He hasn't had one yet. One due to the suspension, and the other one due to the injury. So I take it as that's where I'm at. Anything
Mhm.
more, and I'm happy with the performance from Jamo. Anything less than any of those numbers, even if it's just a touchdown. Now, I'll take that back. If he has 1,200 yards and 4 touchdowns, I'll forgive
Nope. Because Amaron is going to demand so much attention.
Right.
So it's up to JMO, and then with his speed, he can outrun some of these guys. I think the only thing Golf just got to throw him on target. That's the thing.
Yeah.
If he could throw him on target, but it's hard to do that when you got somebody as fast as JMO.
him.
That can be tricky.
Can we hire a hypnotist for Goff to make him be the deep ball thrower he was in 2018?
But we hope. We hope. That's a
No, I'm
possibility.
serious. I mean, hire a hypnotist, hypnotize him, and make him be that quarter. Make him not forget what he's done in his life, but just
Mm-hmm.
forget how to throw bad on deep balls.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
He had a very beautiful spiral. Remember when he out Mahomes on that Monday Night Football game?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I just I missed that because we haven't seen it since then, and it's because of that Super Bowl.
Right. Right.
Everybody everybody tries to blame Goff, but when you got guys getting hit in the hands and they're dropping balls, just touchdown. 4
Exactly
passes.
right.
He had 4 passes that should have been touchdowns in that game. 2 of them to Brandon Cooks, 1 to Josh Reynolds, and 1 to Gerald Everett. Big game, and Josh Reynolds dropping a touchdown pass. It's almost like I've heard this before. When did
It's
that
like
happen?
deja vu. You know?
And I think it was less the fact that Josh Reynolds dropped the passes. It was his reaction after each one and how he acted in the press conference.
Mm,
You just can't shrug your shoulders, giggle, and say shit happens and walk off the stage and expect to stay with the team.
exactly. Exactly.
Right.
That was his doomsday right there.
A competitor doesn't do that. He's pissed at himself.
Yeah.
Look at JJ look at JJ in week 2 playing the Eagles when he fumbled just before the goal line and how pissed he was at himself.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Josh Reynolds don't have that dog in him.
And you have to have that when you on the Lions, because that they want Dan Campbell wants his type of guys, and you can't be that again on this team.
It's everywhere in that building, right?
Mm-hmm. Can't do it. I think he's going to be missed because of how he played and
The first half of the season, yes.
But
Right.
I think with guys like DPJ that will take that position and they'll honor it, you know, and Khalif Raymond too.
I heard somebody say on a podcast that, well, I don't think that Jameson Williams can run an intermediate route. I was like, did you not watch Alabama? He's Bryce Young. That's all Bryce Young was good at was intermediate routes. He didn't have a great deep ball.
Mm-hmm. And that's one thing about Alabama running backs. They know how to, wide receivers. They know how to do that.
Right.
That's
Every single one of them run a slant or a mid in or a deep in and not go. It's not all fly routes.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Route.
Yeah.
All right,
That's what
guys.
they teach.
You guys have a good night.
Yeah,
All right.
you do. Yeah, thank you, Jeremy.
Yeah, I had a pleasure.
Yep.
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 No problem.
All right.
All right. Wow.
Yeah.
He just makes it all more real wanting to just get
right. Man, that was cool.
I know.
That was cool. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to this season and training camp and just getting back to football.
Oh yeah.
It's crazy that football is about to start in like 2-3 weeks. That's crazy.
I know.
It's crazy.
This year, where did it go?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, if time keeps moving as fast as it's moving this year, man, we'll blink 3 times and we'll be dead.
Right. You ain't lying. You ain't lying.
That's it.
And it's just going back to Ford Field, man, and just to see the fans and just the roar in the crowd. It's like I miss that, man. I miss it.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
I miss it. And it's just the camaraderie of just Lions fans just coming together, man. It's just it's a great feeling. Even during the playoffs, it's like I've never seen anything like that, man. It was incredible.
Mm-hmm.
It was so incredible because I had to look back and be like, oh man, this was a wonderful season.
Right.
Like you just look back at it, and this team has the potential to go to the Super Bowl, even though we should have won last year. But I think that experience from last season should help them this season. Yeah. Now, I know they're going to be under a lot of pressure because everybody expect them to be in that position this year. So I hope the pressure don't be too much for them. Yeah. Because that's something they got to overcome as well.
Yeah. But I don't know if you look at it because last year going into the season, we were expected to be the NFC North champs because at that time they thought Aaron Rodgers out of Green Bay, Minnesota maybe be able to give us a run for our money. Chicago is what Chicago was. So I don't, I mean, yeah, it's hard to let, they're going to be expected because of the of being there, but there's been a lot of shade where they're not expected to do as good.
Right.
So what do they got to do? They got to do as good and better.
Right. Right.
They got to, and there's, I mean, one of the things that Steve Harvey, that I remember him saying is when you succeed, you got to be able to take that leap. And what they got to do is they got to take that roaring leap. Roaring leap.
And they got to knock them on the ass.
Yeah, knock them on their ass. And they just got to take that roar right back, right all the way up to New Orleans Saints, where Jeremy B said he's going to be streaking if the Lions win the Super Bowl.
Right.
So,
right.
Not that I want to see him naked or anything. I mean, definitely.
We don't condone anybody to do that. But if that's what you do, we ain't responsible.
See, Grand Digest 12, we had the question was, how on the Klondike bar, what would you do? How they always ask, what would you do for a Klondike bar? Well, I asked people in the chat, people on the panel, I asked, what would you do if the Lions win the Super Bowl? Mm-hmm. And Jeremy B said, which he's going to be at the Super Bowl because he's going to be on the, he's going to be one of the announcers and stuff like that. Or not announcers, but one of the press pass. He got press pass for it. So he'll be at that Super Bowl. But I'll tell you what, I'm not going to air if he streaks. I'm not going to hear that part of him.
Yeah.
All right. Yes. So here, forward down the field.
Forward down the field.
That will not yield. And when it's blue and silver wave, rah, 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 rah.
Go game. Down the field again. Lions.
Victory! Go Lions! Win that Super Bowl!
Next time I see Rory, I'm just gonna look at him and just be like, raw.
I wonder what you're gonna do. I wonder what you're gonna do. What he would do, or if I don't know who's ever in there. He went ahead and said roar and went ahead and knocked him in his ass.
Right.
Don't hurt him. He's our mascot. I know.
Exactly. That's crazy. That is crazy. That's cool. But I can't wait, man. It's just.
Oh, I can't wait.
It's like, man, I can't wait to see them in them New Jerseys. Right. I can't wait to see them in their New Jerseys, especially at home during that first game against the Rams.
Yep.
That man, that is going to be crazy.
I have. Okay, I'm going to turn back on my cam. I have all the respect for Matthew Stafford in the world. But come Monday at Ford Field, we just got to knock him on his ass so many times that we just go ahead and take him to the bank.
Exactly.
I mean, let him know, hey,
you wanted to trade too. I mean, you did request a trade. You know, you got your Super Bowl with your team. All right, but you
Mhm.
ain't no lying anymore, dude.
Right.
This ain't your
Exactly.
home. This is no homecoming.
Right. And
If
I
you
don't want
were
to see no tribute videos either
no,
I don't want to see that. Now,
there's
if he
one tribute.
retired, you could do that. But not when he's still with the Rams
Right,
do a tribute
right,
video. I'm like, I don't want to see that.
yeah. I mean, you know what I would like to see when he retires? Okay, I would like to see him kind of do what uh once he's sure that he's done. I have the Lions sign him, you know, for one game, you know, and just have him there, and his last game be with the team that he started with, as a respect to him. You know, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you, and I'm not saying bench Jared Goff or anything like that. I'm not saying that, you know, but I'm saying that that's a respect that I would have for him, you know, and if he wanted to do that too, you know, because
Absolutely.
I mean, for what he did and what he did with this team and stuff like that, and this is in no way slapping the face of Jared Goff, because hell, he's the one that won. He's the one that led us to those two two playoff wins. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so he's that one that led us to those two playoff wins. So I mean, but I still gotta respect what Matthew Stafford did with us.
Absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely. You gotta respect what Matthew Stafford has done, just not for just the Lions, but just for the
the
city of Detroit,
community, the community, yeah, yeah,
the community service, and with
mhm,
him and his wife.
right,
They
yeah,
done a lot
right,
for the city. And
but
you gotta respect that.
yeah, but no trivia videos while he's not at Ford Field. Don't I mean because to me that's kind of like rubbing Jared Goff's face.
Right.
You know, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I hope they can be, hopefully they can be friends. I mean, Jared Goff, and one thing I was, looking at, and I didn't see the whole article, but one of the things that Jared Goff said is that it was more important than the money was that he had a no trade clause in his contract. He
Mm-hmm.
doesn't want to be traded. Jared
No.
Goff wants to be here. This team gave him life. This city gave him life. He gave this team life. He went ahead and he, uh, he
Mm-hmm.
went ahead and brought us two two
Revitalized this
playoff
team.
wins. Yeah.
Absolutely. He
Hey,
revitalized this organization.
how's it
Oh
going,
yeah, he up
Kurt?
late for sure.
Yeah, yeah, we are up late. Yeah. Oh wow,
Late like crazy. What's up? What's up, Kurt?
hey, Kurt.
That's my man right there. Yeah,
No,
that used to kill me. That the Detroit Ram fans, I used to be like, oh
no,
man,
no, no, no. I mean, I voted for him to come into the Super Bowl, to get a Super Bowl because out of respect for what he did for Detroit and stuff like that. But no, I was not no Detroit Rams fan jersey and stuff like that. The heck no.
your son woke you up too. Hey,
Oh,
it happens. It happens.
yeah, I
You
just
know how
have.
it is when people wake you up. Trust me, I know. I don't know how it is to get woke up by kids because I don't have any kids, but I know how it is to get woke up. So it's not pretty, especially when you in a good sleep and a good deep sleep, and then you get woke up. Oh,
Right, yeah,
that's the worst. Especially if it's by your kids. That's
exactly.
even more worse.
Exactly. That's true.
Because you could even if you snoring, you'd be like, oh. Next thing you know, oh. But
Yeah.
man, it happens. It happens. Oh
Yeah,
wow.
I know he
Wow.
does. Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I understand. I understand that completely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Totally understand that. Yeah. They got a different sleep pattern for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely I totally understand that for sure. Oh
Oh,
man.
definitely.
Oh man.
Mm-hmm.
Just say the word.
Yeah.
Anytime I'll be on, man.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah.
just say the word. As much respect that I have for you and what you've taught me in the podcast game. Of course, that's oh man, that's not even a thought. Definitely. One thing what I grow super tired of and why I wish football was 6 months away is the constant ignorance. Like when I hear non-Lion fans say golf sucks, they try to. Yeah,
Yeah. Right.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
I got a symbol for them, but out of respect, I'm not gonna show it. You know, because don't uh,
So, did we see the upgrades? Yeah, I heard about it. I heard about the upgrades. Um, hey, I'm gonna check it. I'm gonna check it out on Saturday though. I'm gonna check it out Saturday. But I have heard about it. I've seen a little bit of it. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool.
my God.
That's last. Do they even pay attention to stats, backup golf? Why say crazy stuff like that? But you know what though? You always gonna have fans and people that's gonna talk about golf. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, he has a bad game. They're gonna always get on him. I mean,
Right.
that's just how it is. I remember when people was calling him golf awful,
Golfle.
and I was like, man, that's crazy. But
Mm-hmm.
I like Jared Goff. Jared Goff is cool. He cool with me. Cool.
uh, yeah, yeah, that's true. And he would call him Golfo too. Jim did. He called him
Yeah.
that, and he called.
Call him golf awful.
Well, I tell you what. I think Jim would have changed his tunes the last couple of years. You know, because he got to see that 1 year ago, and he started liking him a little bit more towards the end of that his first year.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Said why when their own quarterback had a bad game, they come out with all the excuses. It goes both ways. But you
Right.
know what? That goes on with every organization. That you bring in a quarterback, then it's like
Oh, me too.
Aaron Rodgers had to go through the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
He was in there. Farr was gone. It had to be him. He made some mistakes, but
Yeah.
people got on him, and they gonna do the same thing with Jordan Love too.
Yeah.
He gonna go through his mistakes,
But we're happy when he goes through a mistake.
huh?
We're happy when Jordan Love goes through his mistakes.
Oh, we gonna knock him on his ass.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we
Yeah.
gonna knock him.
Yeah.
We gonna show Jordan Love no love.
We're gonna make him look. We're gonna make him see the turf up close and personnel.
Right.
Because when they just go ahead and they number 97 goes ahead and says, "Hey, Mr. Love, feel my love." Whack! Sorry, Gandhi. There is no nonviolence in football. Okay.
Right. 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 And it's and I know he's going through contract situations. I think eventually Packers gonna pay him. I don't think he's worth 60-something million or anything like that. I don't think he's up there yet. I think he's gonna be a good quarterback.
Right.
I just don't think he's $60 million good.
Yeah, but
eventually he can be that maybe in the next couple years.
Pay him. I don't care. They let them pay him the biggest contract they can, so that they can't afford anybody else.
Right. Exactly.
Exactly. That's what I care about.
Because if they give them that money, then they're not going to be able to pay guys like Zaire Alexander. They're not going to want to pay all these receivers. They might, because I know eventually Christian Watson is going to want a new contract, and they're not going to be able to pay him if they give him Love all this money. Rashawn Gray, Romeo Dobbs, Quay Walker, all these guys, they probably not going to be able to pay them.
Yeah.
So if they do it, they do it.
Yep. And Kurt, I do agree with you because Sheila Hemp did turn that around. She turned it around big time. I mean,
absolutely,
because you could tell when she fired the horrible twins. She said she was embarrassed as far as the Lions' record over the years. So I think that she really cares about winning.
Absolutely.
More than dollar signs. I mean, don't get me wrong. She cared about the dollar signs because we can just see these tickets. I mean, you're being season ticket holders. But I mean, she cares about winning. And I'll tell you what, this city, these fans, what happened in Detroit as far as the draft shows how much ready the city is.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And these fans have stuck. I mean, you know what? Dallas Cowboys can have the America team BS, all right? But you know what? The Detroit Lions, they have the America fans.
Yes.
Because I'll tell you what, we have stuck with this team through thick and thin. We have seen the 0-16 season. We have seen these damn refs go ahead and call the plays that they want to. We have seen those crappy hands to the face calls that was given, that went ahead and gave the stupid Green Bay Packers, gave the Green Bay Packers the victory.
Gave it to them.
They didn't beat us. Their refs handed it to them.
They put money in their back pockets.
Yeah.
Them damn cheeseheads.
Goff's contract set the QB market in motion. Then came Herbert and Lawrence, and now Tua. Love wants their deal. That's true. And what's weird about it all is that it's the way the market goes. It doesn't always go with the best quarterback being the highest paid. It's like more the last one to sign is the highest paid. As far as the next contract up. And that's what's crazy.
Yeah. Because one of these quarterbacks or two, or it's just going to be an ongoing. You might see in the next few years, you might see a quarterback getting $100 million a year.
Yeah, yeah,
It's going to happen.
yeah, yeah.
It's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's the only man, the only person you could really see that could easily get that right now is Patrick Mahomes.
Right.
Patrick Mahomes.
Mm-hmm.
And he deserves every bit of as much money as he has because he's that good.
Yeah.
Like, but I'm not convinced with Herbert and Lawrence yet until they show me something.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because Herbert, something about Justin Herbert, I'm just like, he's a good quarterback, but when you get him in these big games, he crumbles like graham crackers. He crumbles. And it's like even a couple years ago when they played against the Raiders, all they had to do was just let the clock run out.
Right.
You could have had that game tied, and you would have went to the playoffs with the Raiders. But you know, they stupid head coach decided to call a timeout. Why? I have no idea.
Exactly.
But now they got Harbaugh, so it's going to be interesting to see what Harbaugh does with the Chargers.
Yeah.
That's going to be interesting.
Yeah. And that's true.
Yeah. I would say Lamar Jackson because he's pretty much their whole offense. Like he's the run game, he's the pass game, he's everything.
Yep.
You know, he's worth
Exactly.
Man, that guy does everything. I'm surprised he's still standing up as much as he get hit.
These headphones I had for a while, but yeah, I did get a haircut. Yeah. And boy, did I need it. It was well over time.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Boss Up, Ball Out podcast. Kurt Steele.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yes,
and we'll get with us, Kurt, and we will. And anytime you want to hop, I mean, I know you just got up, but anytime you want to hop on here too, I mean, you're more than welcome. You know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But man, Mahomes worth every penny. He's just man, he can make nothing out of something.
Yeah.
It amazes me the things that Patrick Mahomes does, man. It's just like, man, it's just like it's unbelievable. It's like he's this generation's Tom Brady.
Yeah.
When it's all said and done, he might mess around and get more Super Bowls than Tom Brady.
But
it's possible.
You know, I heard something on one of the ESPN radios where they think that he could end up retiring in a few years because of one of the statements he made. Now, this was just somebody speculating, all right, because he got young kids and he wants to be there with the young kids growing. So
absolutely,
if he retires in a few years, you know, and this is not breaking news. This is just something that I heard on ESPN radio when I was driving home one time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the money that these players is getting is just crazy. It's crazy. Sometimes you be seeing these contracts, you be like, just give me a couple of million. I know it ain't nothing for you. Just give me a couple of million, you know, just help somebody out in need, you know.
I'll tell you what, here we are talking about, contracts and all, and the worst of kind. But don't all add to the price of those tickets that we all pay.
Man, crazy, crazy.
Yeah.
But hey, more power to them if you get money like that.
Mhm.
But people don't really realize that you see a person getting 60, 65 million, but they not getting that whole 60 million.
Oh no! Oh
That's
no!
cut in half.
Right.
So
Because
you get 60 million, you'll probably get about what 29, 25 million of that after all the taxes and escrows and all of that. So it ain't gonna get to be 60 million. You're gonna see about you'll see half of that.
right.
Even though it's still good to have 29, 25 million dollars. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Mhm. Oh yeah. But yeah, the taxes and all the plus you gotta pay, I think, state taxes for whatever state you played in too. Some of them.
Yep.
So,
Escrow tax, state tax. You got to pay your.
yeah.
You got to pay your agent.
That you took the word right out of my mouth. I was gonna say agent.
Mm-hmm. That's right. An agent get they cut off the top.
Oh yeah, they do. They do. Mm-hmm.
And a lot of these guys, a lot of these agents, of course they're gonna try
The more money they get you, the more money they take.
yeah. And they're gonna try to play their clients because they know their clients is not gonna read all the paperwork.
Right.
So they just gonna sign anything. They don't even know what they sign. It's just like, well, I'm getting this much money, so I'm just gonna sign this off. I'm gonna sign this off, sign this off.
Mhm.
So
yeah.
Then they look back at the contract, they'd be like, wait a minute, how is this taking off my check? And then it's said good, plain as day on the contract.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, you can see if Jared Goff getting about 53, 55 million, half of that is gone.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Half of that is gone.
Yep. Because you got state, local, federal.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, and I'm sure they probably charge him a darn entertainment tax too.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he was smart. Yep. He was very smart.
Mm-hmm. Now, Caleb Williams, I heard he had like a firm that's he didn't have just one agent. He has like a firm that does this.
Mm-hmm.
So that.
Yeah, guys like Jalen Hurts and all that got people helping him out.
Mm-hmm.
And he don't even have. If I'm not mistaken, I don't even think Jalen Hurts I don't even think he lives in a mansion. I think he stays in like a regular house. And he's saving his money. And I applaud the man.
Well, remember, I mean, for the longest time, Aaron Rodgers had a roommate.
Yeah.
That's
right.
I know Jerry would probably have some other things to say about that if he's still
right. Right.
Well, I'm not going to speculate there. I'm not going
there. That's what he do. That's what he do. That's his thing. But these players gotta, they gotta think like this money gotta last me for the rest of my life. So they can't do nothing stupid.
Mm-hmm. And of course, the only thing that is, that they're 100% going to get is the guarantee part of it.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, they could go ahead and after a couple of years get hurt.
That's true.
For any injuries and stuff like that. I mean, I know there's insurance and all this other stuff that they do too, but
yeah, you can get your money, and then next thing you know, you can get hurt like what happened to Nick Chubb last year. That injury was scary.
Mm-hmm.
That was a scary injury. So hopefully he could come back better than ever. But having an injury like that where your leg is bent like that,
Mm-hmm.
that I wouldn't wish that on nobody.
Right. Could you imagine actually being the
I agree with
players of like the past that didn't get these big deals before free agency and all this other stuff? Looking at what players are getting now.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I know players back then is looking at these players now like, you lucky son of
Exactly.
you lucky son. But yeah, it's just like what Kurt just said. You got to live off your endorsements.
Oh yeah, you do.
You can't just live off your contract because that's
Mhm.
gonna go just like that.
Right.
You
I
got to
mean,
have endorsements like crazy.
Yep. And you're even seeing that with like our friend Herman Moore too. He's doing endorsements and stuff like that. He's doing but he's also giving back, and he's giving back to the fans and how he has started. When he started Lions Nation Unite and all this other stuff. It just proved that he was a Lion through and through.
Yeah.
And he's still 100% Lions fan. All around.
And one thing about players that play for the Lions, they stick through the organization. I mean, when you got guys, like Herman Moore, Barry Sanders, Calvin Johnson, who's sticking with the Lions and all about the Lions, and it's good to see that. It's definitely good to see that they care about this organization and they talk about it. They still come to events and everything. So, you can see Herman Moore out in the crowd during the games.
Oh yeah,
just walking around. Like how many players you gonna see do that?
Right.
Some of them don't even want to even be around fans.
Right.
So it's good to see that, and it's good to have these players that still humble and love what they do, even outside of football. It's great.
Yeah,
I love seeing that. I love it.
Yeah. Well, it's just about 4:00, and my wife's real soon.
Yeah, so I appreciate it, man.
Oh, I appreciate. Oh man, this is just kind of like a friend's talk. I mean, it's like we are friends that just get together to talk about football.
And you know what? And it's always good to talk about things that you love to talk about.
Oh,
man.
heck yeah.
And I tell people all the time, like, if you got a podcast, just enjoy anything you want to talk about. If it's sports or anything else, just have passion of doing it.
Right.
And no matter how many views, if you have 0 views, 100 views, like me personally, I can get 1 or 2 views and I'm still cool with that. Long as I love to talk about sports and anything else I talk about. And I love doing that. And I encourage anybody to do that. And it's not, it's gonna be a slow process to start.
Right.
But journey and everything, man, it's gonna be worth it. Yeah. That's what I tell people.
Right. And Kurt, send me a link to your show because I want to make sure and subscribe to your new YouTube channel, okay?
Absolutely. I'm gonna definitely do that. For sure. Because man, I gotta get back into doing things and stuff too, man. I gotta get myself out there. So it's I just always love the support and everything, the New Breed 313 Sports, and even the D313 XP, man. We gon', with myself and DC1 and Nomas J, man, we got a lot of stuff in store for people. So y'all definitely stay tuned.
Oh, definitely.
Stay tuned for that. And I got a couple other things too, man. First, I want to give a shout out to Karen Pankey. He's a boxer. He's actually fighting this Saturday, in because he's part of the Clarissa Shields fight.
Okay.
So he's fighting. He had a training session. He had a training session yesterday. So I was over there, man, and it was great atmosphere. It was at this place called Transformation Lab, which is actually owned by Taquan Jones, who used to play in the NFL, and he played for the Michigan State Spartans. So he's actually an owner, and he does physical training there. So it was pretty cool with that. So I give a shout, because this is actually one of Cameron's shirts here.
Okay.
We got it. Those that want to check it out, this is it here. Because I got two of them. So this is it. Boxing gloves, and then it's on the back as well. So this is like, because when we were talking about endorsements, these is all the endorsements that he's actually involved in. So Karen Panky. So definitely shout out to him, and let me buy a couple of shirts, man. These shirts was actually $10 each. So I was like, yeah, let me go ahead and get two of them. But definitely show the support for him fighting during the Clarissa Shields card this Saturday at LCA.
All right, cool.
Yep.
I did.
Oh wow. Oh wow. Say your cousin was Clarissa Shields' trainer in the amateurs. Oh, that's pretty cool.
Wow, cool. Yeah.
That's cool. That's pretty cool. I always wanted to meet Clarissa Shields. I never got a chance to meet her. I know she was at one of the Michigan Panther games like 2 years ago. I ain't get a chance to come up to her. It's pretty cool. Definitely show my support to her fights. Mad respect for her. But yeah, it's a lot of stuff going on during that first Lions practice on Saturday. They got the Lions practice. You got the Clarissa Shields fight. You got the Tigers playing that day too. So yeah, it's gonna be a lot of stuff going on.
Right.
Even today and tomorrow, I heard I heard the wrestler Hulk Hogan is promoting his beer in Michigan.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, right. Right. So yeah, that ought to be something. That ought to definitely be something for sure. But yeah, man. As always, Tim. I've had a good time, man. It's just always say thank you for having me on, man. I can't thank you enough. I gotta say thank you.
Well, thank you, buddy. The pleasure's mine too. Yeah, pleasure is mine too, man.
Yeah. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Sure.
Yeah.
But
I do got a call I quit. So
you gotta catch some Z's. You gotta catch some Z's. But definitely, I appreciate you having me on, Tim, as always, man. Every time I see you on, I gotta jump on there. When I get them alerts and them notifications, I'd be like, Tim, I gotta get on.
Yeah. Right. It was great having you on. It was. I mean, Jeremy B jumped on, and I went ahead and replay. I was hoping you'd see that link get on. I mean, it's
Yeah.
like.
Yeah, and I do spread the show. I do have it on my pages and the group pages and everything. So always tell everybody to join your show and show the support to you, because you got a good thing going on here, man. And I always gonna show my respect to you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I really, really do.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it. Well, yeah, because I'm about to head off myself because I got to get my Z's, my sleeps. But again, man, I appreciate it, man. Appreciate everything. You have a good one.
Yep, you too. Yep.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'll definitely make sure I subscribe to Kurt's and any more shows that you end up having to,
Right.
All right. Thank you. And this is Maniac Sports with 313 New Breed. And also thank you, Jeremy B, for being on. Thank you, Grandizer 12. And a great big thanks to see my old buddy Kurt Steele, man. That's great. I mean, shoot. And all these guys follow their podcast. They all know what they're talking about. That's for sure. And we're all a big family here. That's what we are. I mean, it's a Lions family. It's a podcasting family. And I don't know if you're still with us, Kurt Steele, but Jeremy B is going to be at the Super Bowl. He has a press pass to the Super Bowl. I think I might have said that already when you were here.
Mm-hmm. Oh, man. And Jeremy, if you got an extra pass, can I get one, please?
I mean, yeah, bring your family with you.
Put in a good word for me. Yeah.
Oh my!
If you can, just put in a good word for me. I would love to go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, can you just see us all just going there? And oh man, that would be great. I would even take points. I mean, I'm known for not taking points at work. Okay, I don't call in. That's what I'm known for at work.
Yeah.
You know what? If they wouldn't give me that day off, well, enough time to get there and all, because I mean, I know Super Bowl is on Sunday, but I mean, hey, if I go to the Super Bowl,
yeah, take you one of those special PTO days.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. That's for damn sure. Just go ahead and day before, day after, make sure I get a 5-day weekend. Yeah, definitely.
Sounds pretty good too.
Yeah. All right. But yeah, we could. I said goodbye how long ago? Oh man, I do gotta go. All right. Oh boy. Yeah.
I know I'm making it worse. I know.
I know. Well, you're having, I'm having such a good time because it's so hard. It's so hard to leave when you're having a good time.
It is.
It's like what time it is.
Right.
I mean, even though it's not on, even though I don't wear a wristwatch anymore, okay, but oh heck, it's 4:08. Okay.
You'd be like, oh snap, 4:08.
So yeah, it's always a pleasure. It's always a pleasure, and
appreciate it.
I'm really saying goodbye this time.
Okay. Yep, me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
All right.
All right now.